Welcome to Kranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Kranky, and this is the Kranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Kranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Kranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Kranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for being here. You are here for another episode. This is week 7 of the Kranky Live Sports Talk show, where we bring you, I was going to say everything in sports, but it's not everything, because, so we don't cover golf. Jason Guna, bless up, Floyd, chorus. We have enough things to talk about, people, enough. By the way, Jason, you beat me the other day, Jason. Hey, we can't wait till Jason, because you beat me again. You beat me again today, Jason. Jason, you beat me the other day, because we try to drop something, and you said, I'm going to try to recall exactly what you said. You basically said, look, why, I'm putting in my paraphrase in my words, which is, I'm not afraid of shame for the nothing else going forward, because Kranky dry drop a song and basically embarrass himself. That's how I'm going to put it. That's how I'm going to put it. Embarrass himself. So I'm going to come back with a song today. But I'm not drop the song anytime soon, because I'll wait till the comment section fill up. I'll wait till I see much likes, because I not drop it in case my likes, and I can spend time on my song. So it may bomb again, but I go down without I can't go down without a fight, because I missed it. I not go down without a fight. See? Not going without a fight. I have to go fight. If I don't bomb me today, I'll get up. I'll get up. And probably deserve it so, because, well, you know something, you're supposed to do things about 3 times, Okay, if you do it once in a work, do it again in a work, 3 times you do it. But this is the second time. So we'll see how that goes today. And as I said the last time, and it's very important, people, I want, when I drop the song, which is a little bit quite a bit into the program, and if I should play it through StreamYard or through my phone. I might through my phone, because I think the bass is better through the phone. And I say this, people, before the song, I'm going to say it now. If you're going to listen to the song, get your headset. See? Okay, if you listen to your computer where your arms something are good, the speakers, not the best, you now get the full vibes of the song. See? So I build it up. You see me, I build it up, people? Because even if I'm bomb, I'm build it up good, and that's a good thing. So I want to get in a headset, get some, if you don't have Bose, get some good headset or good AirPods. I'm going to look at flimsy stuff, because I'm going to deal with flimsy stuff. Yeah, chorus, man, like the drawing board chorus. Let's hope the board draw well enough, because it could be ugly. Bless up Juras. Bless up everyone in the chat. Chorus, Juras, Float. Everyone, bless up. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Apple earpods are good. Apple earpods. I'm not drop the song yet. There's a talk about enough things we have to talk about. What is enough things? Enough things happened on the weekend. Last night, I was on a podcast with my good friend, Tony Pugilis Boy, who has a boxing channel on YouTube. And I was on yesterday with Apollo and Tony and Vinci. And they're from the UK. On Bless Up Tycoon, thanks for being here. On Sunday for the England game. And by the way, I was supporting England. We'll talk about that. They lost, obviously. And then I was on in the night to watch the what I call the fiasco or the mayhem with the COPA America game between Colombia and Argentina. We'll talk through that also. So those are the two of the key topics. But we'll also talk about a couple more things if I have time, because you need material all week. So I may have enough material for the rest of the week, how this runs. A little bit at the coaching. I call it carousel, but the coaching situation in Jamaica. and my view as to what attributes the coach should have. I think I mentioned them before. I'm gonna walk through them again. The time will determine how detailed I get. I'm also going to talk about, I got beaten on JD's channel, so I have to mention this, about my view that there's apathy with the Jamaican football fans. Bless up Tuffy Rudy. They don't support the football as they should by going to the games. And this was clearly reflective in when you watch the games that we played in Gold Cup and in COPA with Ecuador, with Venezuela. It was very obvious to me that we have to do a much better job of going to games, figure out a way to bring us together, work together to go to games, because there's not like fan support. And I'll go through some of the rationale as to why this is important and what we should be considering as fans to really support the players. And it's not just about 2026, it's just in period. Support them because we get pleasure from this. And we talk about it a lot. We critique a lot. We give them flowers when it's needed, or when it's deserved, I should say. But that has to be part of the whole equation, right? We can't just take and not give. You hear me complain about the likes when you come in and the subscribe and the share, that I am going out working to deliver hopefully quality content. And my expectation is that you will, reciprocate in some ways. And the like, share, and subscribe is reciprocating. And I have about 1,300 subscribers. If every person who subscribe, let's put that to 1,000, because maybe 300 people may just pressure to subscribe to me, who never really want to subscribe anyway. If that 1,000 persons, that 1,000 persons get one person subscribe, at 2,000 megan people. See? Simple. Just get one person. I mean, actually, eternal. If you get one person subscribe, even if sometimes they don't watch a channel, because some people are not into sports, they're into other things, and one subscribe, then my channel is taking off, and you're contributing to it. Because I want to come and do my own research, my own work, to get to the quality content you deserve. But I ask for reciprocation in that respect. Hey, Ricardo. Hey, Ricardo. See, I start making me nervous, Ricardo, because I peer pressure you giving them to Ricardo. Peer pressure, because you're telling me, say, me have rhymes, but me not, I won't call it style, but me need to work on the DJ thing. That's what you tell me. So that's why I said, don't listen to the word. Don't listen to me per se, even though you have to. The beat and the actual words what you should focus on. Yeah, Kranky Ranking. That's not an old name. We need something. People come with something more fresh. We need something more fresh than for my name. Right? Yeah, that's an homework for you guys, actually. Come with a more fresh name for me. No Kranky Ranking. Big up Eagle Republic. No. Me need a better name, Jason. You have to do better than that, Jason. My music have rules. No, Jason. Jason. That's how you qualify things, Jason. To mitigate pushback, You have to qualify it, Jason. So when the pushback come, if you deal with it. See? People know what the rules were. A friend of mine told me the other day, I have said this, I embarrassed myself. She said, and I know them a long time, she said her and her daughter were listening to my program. And she said, she called me and we're talking. And she said, by the way, you say not to listen to the word, but boy, it was so bad, me couldn't hear nothing else. So, her daughter said to her, he said not to listen to him, listen to the words. It's like, I couldn't hear the words. I was just hearing him. So, Crank Boss, I don't know what Crank, Crank Boss. Keep working, chorus, keep working. So I do have to, I do have to make sure I qualify all these things. So therefore, when I mean AC slow down and now work. I do have to qualify all these things so that when you listen, Jason, I get much beaten. I try manage beating Jason. I try manage beating and Ricardo. I try manage beating. So let's see how it works. Bless up Triple E. So anyway, let's jump into the topics for today. First one is about COPA. So I read some articles today, and they talked about a thrilling final between Colombia and Argentina. You know what? Must start with that first. Can I go to the better one first? Start with worst of the two first. People, one of the most boring football match I ever watched. Seriously, I don't want to think. Boring. We went on from 7:45 yesterday. The whole festivities finished about after 12 Eastern Standard Time. And I must admit, it's the first time I've been on YouTube and I felt like sleeping. Bless up Shushan. I felt sleeping during the telecast. It was really bad, people. What's the prize, Princess Jillian, for name request? You know what? If it knocks me off my feet, I'll come back with a prize. I'm gonna give a nice prize actually. If it's something, wait. So the name. Before hear the song first. Hear the song first, and then give me the name, and then we think about if the name resonate. Come back by end of the week with a prize. All right. So I do. Yes, Triple E. Tired Triple E after the game. Game boring. First of all, people, and I'll talk about this actually, because I think I'm jumping around here a little bit for a reason. Bielsa and Jesse Marsh and others were brutally critical of how COPA was run, managed, I would say managed and administered. So we'll talk about that. But let me go to the game pretty quickly. Key points of the game. Obviously, Argentina won 1-0. Lautaro Martinez, who has been sidelined somewhat. I think he scored about 5 goals in COPA, But he's been sidelined somewhat because, remember in the World Cup, when he played, he was a starting center forward, and Alvarez replaced him after a while because he wasn't producing. And throughout COPA, he's been coming off the bench, frankly. He hasn't been, Alvarez has been preferred to him. I think he started, and then Alvarez was preferred to him subsequently. He came on and scored a decisive goal. Good build-up, good goal. After a bad turnover by one of the Colombians. I think it was one of the substitutes to turn the ball over. So not a good situation. I picked Colombia to win that game because I thought they were the best team that I saw in the tournament. And them beating Uruguay with a 10-man group when they had a red card issued, or 2 yellows and turned to a red. I think it was their right back. Late second half, maybe 30-something minutes, 40 minutes, somewhere around there. So, and Uruguay to me is a very good team, by the way. Very good team, except Nunez need to go see a shrink. And that's not, I don't want to use a bad term. Let me just rephrase that. Go see a psychologist or someone to help him mentally, because himself and the goal are having problems. He and the goal are having problems. They need to work that out. You got to talk to the goals. The goal post and the net, they're having problems. They're not on the same page. No killer run. Yeah, exactly. No killer. No. Good point there, Triple E. No, sir, Ricardo. We didn't like killer thing. No, sir. No. No KK thing. So like KKK. No, sir. There's one more cape on it. We want to keep it decent. No killer. Even though I understand the connotation, but we're not doing the killer thing. So I thought Colombia would do really, really well in that game. And Argentina actually raised their game, and Colombia game fell. And I'm not sure if it's one drove the other. Kranky sound interesting. Put that on the sideline for a bit. Bless up Grimmy family. Grimmy family production, Lord. Oh boy, we sure creative with our names, I'm telling you. I thought Colombia would have played better. And sometimes the opposition, we always talk about, they're playing low block, or they're doing this in football. Sometimes people are not playing low block in the people. People force you to play low block. That what looks like low block. Sometimes you're a position team and you meet a better position team and you have to solidify your defense and close down the gaps and close the holes, and you look like a low block. You're trying to hit on the counter. Kranky vibes is not bad. But we need something more inventive and more innovative. So I would say that maybe Argentina, because Argentina they had like the England, their groupings and their progress to the tournament was similar to England in the Euro. The weaker group, the weaker teams were on one side of the aisle. So think about it. Argentina had Canada in the semifinal, Ecuador in the quarterfinals, right? Look on the other side, you had Colombia, you had Brazil, you had Uruguay. So that was a much tougher route to get to the finals. Bless up Flo, the man with the crank. No, Triple E. People, I'm going to go some research, because, hey, you know something? I'll start grading it, because not grade me. I'll start grading it, because them look at name when I try to appear regular name when I use. I say, get inventive, man. Get inventive. And I invent nothing. No, just a mirror and repeat regular name when normally hear. Come with something inventive. Think about the host, or the host operate, or the host work, your perspective on the host, and try to intertwine that with the name. You don't have to use crank. You can use something else, right? Crank it up, not bad at all. But too much words, right? Too much words. Probably should be a two-name convention. So it was a little bit disappointing to see how Colombia played. And it was also interesting and surprising to see how well Argentina played. They were the better team. The game wasn't a good show for COPA America. And it showed Messi got injured in the game. And frankly, people, tell me if I'm off on this. I thought Colombia got better when Messi, Argentina got better when Messi came off. Because you know why, to me? Two things. One is they brought in a player who played defense because he doesn't play any defense. In fact, I sat there watching. Is he trying to show people he doesn't play defense and say, I'm the boss out here? Crank the special one. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting one, Grimmy. Interesting one, Grimmy. Why am I telling you, Grimmy production? Man, I have a symbol and a logo for Grimmy. Is your Grimmy reflective of the former coach? I'm curious. Master Crank, Frank Crank, Shine Crank. Why are you not talking? That's a little. You know what, Hamilton? I'm impressed with that because you have 4 suggestions in a short period of time, right? So I'm impressed with that. Be Franklin with Kranky. No, you can't put the late with the crank. Hey, never teach you a rhyme, RR. You can't do Franklin with crank. No. You need to work on the rhyming thing. And by the way, my song have rhyming night, people. I mean, work for my rhyming, And maybe can't DJ, but me know so me can't rhyme. Me I put that out so me can't rhyme. Me I said that. Me I said me can't rhyme. I'm wanting to judge me on the rhyme. I don't want to beat me if my rhyme them not sound good. Because me I said me can't rhyme. Me I look at poetry in me. Cranky cuts. What does the cut symbolize before the game? What's the cuts? Yeah, I think Martinez made him better. And I think the substitution helped Argentina twofold. One is defensively, because now they had 11 defenders on the field, not 10. And secondly, offensively, in the context of they weren't trying to work the ball through Messi, right? Because he's not running. They're just going to play whoever's in better position to get the ball. They're going to play with them. And I thought Argentina got more. Colombia didn't create enough opportunities during the game. In fact, they were disturbingly poor to me how they played, given how brilliant they were for most of the tournament. Cranky's World Tycoon, not bad. I know you say Cranky World, but I call it Cranky's World. I want to dominate, so that's a good point. So that was a little bit surprising, and I think it's historical in that Brazil's demise is the opposite of Argentina's continuous rise. Right, won the World Cup, they won the last Copa in 21, won the World Cup, won Copa again. So they're on a significant winning streak, while Brazil, who have as much or more named football, you got to think about it, people. Brazil have more named and recognized footballer than Argentina, because even though Argentina have Messi, he's on the demise, right? Significantly. And also, if you think about their team, Otamendi will play sometime. Romero is decent for Tottenham. Martinez for Man U, but he's been injured all season. I know they have 100 million midfield and Fernandez. What's his name from Liverpool? His name is slipping me now. McAllister is a very good player. So they have some good players. But when you have Guimaraes and Paqueta and Marquinhos and those players in Brazil, you just sit there thinking, and Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, and they play for the top teams. You're like, why is Brazil, one seems to be a team and one seems to be a side. And just to throw a hint for you, if you think about my song, some of that in my song, we'll talk about it. Right? Team and side, not team, but the word side thing. You have 11 players on side, it's not a team. So I'm throwing some hint. So it's going to be interesting, people, in terms of going forward, what happens in South America. I think Uruguay is on the rise. I was surprised they lost to Colombia. Colombia lost their first game since February 2022. I think Ecuador is playing decent football. I'm not sure what's happening in Brazil, but I'm sure there are people there pulling their hairs out because it's interesting. BJ, keep trying before the games. Keep trying. Keep trying. When it resonates, people, me know when it resonates. When it hit, something. Just like when you tell me the other day, I said, well, I want to use a less colloquial term. Me can't use that I sucked. That's the most eloquent term I can think about. When I DJ that day, I wouldn't call it DJ. I play something on a criticize it. That's all I can think about when it comes to that. But anyway, but Argentina now equals Spain's achievement of winning 3 consecutive major tournaments, right? Because Spain had won the 2008 Euros and 2012 Euros and the World Cup in 2010, when they had the Iniesta, Javid, Villa type team, Fabregas, the people who put, Busquets can't come close to them. Ridiculous team. they won 3 major tournaments in a row. Argentina just equaled that, even though it's on this side of the pond. So really interesting, actually. And as I mentioned before, Colombia had a 28-game winning streak, hadn't lost since February 2022. That came to an end. And Argentina and Colombia were the 2 strongest teams in the tournament, and it showed because they reached the final. Even though I thought Uruguay should have done better, given that Colombia were down to 10 men for a lot of the game, actually. Boy, let me say, before the game, now stopping it, and just jump on 5 months. Kranky wisdom. I don't know about the wisdom thing. I don't want no wisdom. Cantankerous. Boy, Jason, take long for the one day. Concrankerous. That's a very interesting name. But my name has to be able to have some meaning to it, Jason. I mean, I don't know if it dial. What think about it, Jason? What think about it? Concrankerous. You know, if you ask Thesaurus, the Webster come up with the meaning. Concrankerous. It's so like a what do you call it? Right? What? Not something. What some old creatures we had from way back in the days? It's slipping me. It'll come back to me. That's the kind of name we have. You know, they have these long names. For them, prehistoric type animals. That's what it sounds like. So congrats to Argentina. Much love to them. I'm not a big Argentina fan, people. In fact, to the contrary, I'm not. I think I know the history of Argentina, so I can't be their fans. Now with anybody, not in the country operate did, but I won't go into that now. We're not in politics tonight. And by the way, people, don't ask me any question about the political situation or what happened over the weekend. I'm doing what they call shut up and dribble. I said that yesterday. There's a reason for my shut up and dribble. Some things you have to just leave around. All right, Tripoli. I appreciate that. Tripoli. No, but the reason why it's not wisdom, because then people say, oh, Kranky's an elitist and you think he's smarter than everybody else. I get those from people on podcasts, on other people's program. So I have to dial down people. I can't even dial up because I get beaten to say, oh, you think you're better than everybody else and you think you're smarter than... When I have never said that. I just come here trying to have fun with you guys, talk, share information. So I don't want to use any words that may suggest that I think I'm at a certain level, because I'm gonna get feedback that I don't think it's fair, but it's the nature of how social media is. Kranky International. Yes, I do consider myself international. Yes, Claudine, the game was awful. And Claudine, have you subscribed? No, not Claudine. Claudine, have you hit the like button? I have to do that to Claudine, people. I have to. I can't help myself. Yeah, I know Drew Ross, but I'm doing fun on Sports Channel. I'm shut up and dribble. You know what the Fox reporter told LeBron James when he tried to get involved in politics? Shut up and dribble. I would never embrace that for anybody in life, because we're not one-dimensional. But I'm gonna shut up and dribble when it comes to that, because as I say in life, people, if you don't have anything good for say, no say nothing. I'm gonna take the stand there, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Just quickly on Argentina, actually, in terms of one of the things I think they did really well in the tournament, I kind of capture some of these things, which is their tactical adaptability to how they played against, like, Colombia, for example. They adjust their playing style somewhat. Their midfielders, such as McAllister and Fernandez and Lo Celso, they took turns dropping deep to find, passages and figure out where the opposition defensive blocks were and work through them. So I thought their possession-based play, which is what Spain also exhibited, is very, very good. Well, I was going to say good. It was decent, because neither team could really keep the ball, but Argentina did a better job, I think, than Colombia did. Or if Colombia kept the ball, and here's what I realize in football, people, nowadays. With almost most teams except Spain, who have these dynamic wingers that they're utilizing. I'm going to get to that too, people, when it comes to talking about Jamaica and our football. When they get to the top of the 18 for a lot of teams, they have no idea where to go from there. There is no plan. What do you mean, coward? Gunners boss. We're not coward. Trust me, we're not coward. One thing everybody can tell the Gunners boss, coward I mean an SEM sentence. No. There's a reason why, people, I'm playing with you when I say that. No. I don't think there's a time and place to say certain things. People, you can't get emotive. I do get emotive on these programs a lot of times, so I shouldn't say that. But you have to manage when you're going to say something, and it has to have the right effect. So those people who always jump, like, I get news sometimes. I get news. You see, when I see a lot of YouTubers come up with news, we get them news sometimes, Who are the coaching line? Who are this? Me get them news a lot of time, people. I just not go broadcast it for my own reason. Not because I can't, I don't want to. First of all, I got to substantiate the veracity of that news. And then secondly, I got to figure out, is that the right timing for the news? When should you drop it? So, no, I'm not afraid to talk about what transpired. As I said before, I'm going to say this about, I think, people. I would prefer to vote for a tree stump or a log or a column than vote for the person who is the Republican nominee. Let me repeat that. And I'm dead serious. If there was a tree stump and the person, and they say vote for one, I vote for the tree stump. So that's not being a coward, Gunner's boss. Trust me. I'm not afraid of nobody. I'm not afraid of nobody. But you know, that's how it is. So in terms of the football, let me go back to the football because I'm not digress for me now. Because we don't want to find some things. Anytime I start, man, I channel people. Everything is nothing off limits. Nothing off limits. I talk about everything. So don't worry about it. I mean, I start in the next 2 months. Before I start the channel, I have to spend time doing my research. You have to make sure I have the right. I didn't start do it yet because I have the right logo. And I spend time to do them things. I mean, I just jump out and do things, you know. I mean, invest in it. I invest in myself. I mean, invest in what I do. Because I want the best outcome. That's why Claudia now is argue. When she miser up, I likes them. But anyway, I think they had a strong defensive foundation. They have star power in their team. And they were consistent throughout the tournament. They weren't really troubled in the tournament. I think the first game against Canada must be the toughest game. And even when they played what we deemed to be a tough Colombia side, they weren't really tough. Right? And this team is a very seasoned team. They have been playing well for years. They're a winning team. They know how to win. And so it works very good. Miguel says, I'm glad you called me unintelligent, you know, Miguel. Thank you for that. Very intelligent of you, Kranky, especially due to the fact that he was there before and the economy was good. Miguel, I'm not if you beat it today. Because, yeah, Miguel, I'm not if you beat it today. But me embarrass you. Miguel, I said this to Miguel. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know about the economy. You know, Miguel, me embarrass Miguel, you don't know what you're talking about, Miguel. May I tell you the truth? You know what you're talking about. Here's what you do in life, Miguel. Do your research, get the intelligence, then come talk to me. But the economy was good and all this other thing there. But then we have COVID, Miguel. Then the man just mess up COVID 20. You know what? You see people say me now talk about certain things and Miguel I come talk about an intelligent view. Because I'm a Trump supporter. Miguel, I don't support fascist people. I don't support people who are anti my race. So you start me. See the people, so let me start me with the people. You want to get my skin saying push me with that need for people. So I go there. I don't support people who's against my people. Who have a history where his dad was a KK person. Where his dad had housing situation where we as people couldn't get any go enough in him housing, Miguel. Miguel, go do your research. Because you know what you're talking about, Miguel. You're embarrassed to say me, thank you, Miguel. Yeah, hear me, Miguel? Go do your research. Come here, make some views the other day. You know what you're talking about, Miguel. I'm going to beat your body if you keep on come to the nonsense again. If you use the word unintelligent to me again, I'll destroy you, may I tell you the truth. Okay, you know me. I can be somebody that call me, lad. I'm ready. People, phone I ring already, people. Go ahead, come on, make me emotive. Bless up. Good night, good night. Who am I speaking to?
Good night. Before the game, calling.
Hey, before the game. So the man start bother before the game. The man start bother before the game. Yes, the man gonna be scared to talk about say me an intelligent view of one for a tree stump. When the man don't know nothing about nothing.
Yeah, but you see what happened.
You are uninformed, Miguel. I know you are uninformed. You either uninformed or you're not no sense. One of the two, Miguel. May I tell you that? You're not uninformed, you're not no sense. May I tell you that?
Forget Miguel. But
no. Before the game, him one war. Me a game war.
No,
hey,
don't worry.
Hey, before the game, listen something. You always say to Miguel, you miss people on this channel. On this channel, people, so me calm down and drink some water. Go on before the game and drink some water. You know something too much.
Well, you're supposed to be talking about the COPA and Gunner's boss planted a seed and suggested that you're not brave. and then Miguel
but I ignore Gunner's. Hey, people.
Yeah, but I can't watch you let them take you off track like that. You're supposed to be talking
I know you came on to say me. You like Minzy, you know, like Minzy. And time I start, go to people. Hey, me say before the game, some people don't know me now. They don't know me then. Them see up on YouTube and then want to get under your skin. And me go there with you know. Me not no problem go there. And it make the program even more interesting sometimes you go there, but me not go there today. So before the game, see people like call a friend and my friend turn up. Indirectly. We have telepathy. You know, that thing that you send out, and he just say, okay, let me bring him back in because I know he's gone. So he brought me back. So are we going back to COPA? In fact, we're going to move from COPA and go to because on COPA, I'm gonna leave from COPA, go to Euro people, but I'm coming back to COPA.
There's some things about
no, I'm coming. No, don't go anywhere. Not before the game. I'm coming back to COPA. Trust me.
Okay.
There's a reason. When you and I talk about, we come back to COPA. Bielsa, we come back to COPA. We're gonna do the 2 games first because that's the easiest thing. We'll come back to COPA. But Miguel, me can't wait to beat you, Miguel. Me can't wait to beat you. Me say it have burned me. Actually, don't know Miguel. But anyway, I'll keep going. I'll keep going, people. Before the game, I'll keep going. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Just invite Miguel on one day if you want.
Yeah. Miguel?
Yeah.
Miguel, send me your information, and if you're brave enough, come on the stream, Miguel. When the people see your face, since we were talking.
Yeah.
Since you're behind your typewriter, type and run off your mouth, Miguel. Come on the screen, come talk to me. Me want to see you, me want to talk to you, me want to argue, want to debate you. But you're support man who have no moral compass, who grab people by them precious. Miguel, you want to go there? You want me to do history for the man now? You think me just come and talk about things I don't know about? You know, man history. The New York, take out full page of New York Times for the 5 youth them at Central Park. But then we hang. We have Miguel. I truly not know enough before the game. Him start with crank. I crack. I'm really cranky now. I'm really cranky. Go ahead. Look for the game. I'm really cranky now. Stop,
one of the names that suggested just was Kranky with a K and Kranky with C.
Yeah, it's probably should be the case actually because Miguel just let me get extra cranky. Let me get a cranky.
You know what I felt like this weekend?
Yeah,
I felt like we were saturated with football, and when the COPA game did not start on time, when it was delayed, the reasons they suggested it was delayed, it started up 15 minutes late, and then there was a 25 minutes halftime instead of 15. That made it. I was sure, at least for me, that it was too much then. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sure that it was too much then.
I think they probably paid, what's her name, Shakira, to perform. They had it all set up. Most fans go to see the football game, but they also go to watch her. She's a big star from Colombia, live in Spain. So I'm sure that's all part of it. But at some point, you have to pivot, right? We'll get to that. You know, people, we don't want to jump into that yet because we have some summary here about how COPA was run. But I think that was part of the problem.
Yeah, I think sometimes we watch the Euros and they may have had entertainment at halftime, but it wasn't 25 minutes, right? It was 15 minutes, consistent with the rules of the game. So when you extend to 25 minutes, it changes the experience, especially for people that's not there. Plus, you're 125 minutes, and I think you said just now that the goal was a good goal, and I think all goals are good goals. But I think in my mind, while watching the game in extra time, I kind of felt like the goal would come from a mistake, and I think it was.
It was a mistake. It was a mistake. Yeah, it was 2 mistakes actually.
Not just by the goalkeeper, but by the defender.
Well, there were 3 mistakes actually. When the ball was turned, it was a mistake. When the central defender allowed the man to go between the lines, it was a good 1-2 actually, right? I sort of a 1-2. But when you allow him to go between the lines, they were like mistake, and the ball went through the keeper's hands. It's not like it right? It went right through his hands. I mean, it was a hard shot, but it went through his hands.
Yeah, he should have been able to parry that.
Yeah, he should parry it away.
But I gotta accept, because I think Colombia was the best team all tournament, in my opinion.
Right.
But I think tiredness and it really, the time that the game finished, you gotta give a shout out to Tony.
Yes.
Tony was suffering last night.
Tony, by the way, people, just what before the game is alluding to. So we did a stream last night from 7:45 US time, Eastern Standard Time. I shouldn't say US, Eastern Standard Time, to about 12:30 after 12 Eastern Standard Time. And Tony's in the UK, which is 5 hours ahead. So that was like, I told Tony dropped off maybe 15, 20 minutes before the game finished. So he stayed like until 4:30 for that game. So he was a trooper, but It was difficult, people, difficult. Because it wasn't like it was a brilliant game, so you're enjoying the entertainment. And that's why entertainment is important in sports. People spend their money. So, yeah.
Look, and on top of that, Tony was suffering from the defeat. From
I know you want to bring that up. No, he wasn't suffering from no defeat.
He wasn't
suffering. He wasn't. That's you. That's you thinking England fans are suffering. We're not suffering.
Okay,
By the way, people, I was supporting England. I didn't suffer because, you know what? I know Spain was a better team. I was hoping that we would win. You know, they use the word we, right? That's when I'm British when it comes to England playing football, because we don't reach that level at Jamaica. That's the only time I'm probably we with England. But yeah, I wanted England to win, and unfortunately they didn't. And it goes back to the whole thing about before the game, which is teams versus individuals.
Yeah,
England may have more named players who are known, but Spain has a real team people. And you hear me, people, I talk about who want ball possession. By the way, people, you know this song. Anyway, ball possession.
Big tune.
Big tune. Not even before the game. Big tune. That we beat up before the game when we drop it. Big tune. That people, me not drop my song unless the likes exceed number of people in the chat. I tell them that right now. So the song may not play it until like Thursday. Come on, stingy with the song. Me not drop it until it exceeds. Even before the game, I say, can you get a premiere of it, preview, and him say, but now kind of big song before the game. You can't listen to. So we say, well, listen to it. If we do with that now, because we'll create anticipation. People say, man, just set me up to feel or whatever, set me up and then drop down. So we're not going to do that. We're not do that. But anyway, I think it was a team versus a side. I call it a team versus a side.
I think the England is in a real interesting position.
Before the game, I have to stop him. Gunners boss are complaining.
Yeah. So
you know, whine up like you know what? You know my whine. Why is before the game on the phone? Why is he on the phone? Why can't I call in? I want to call in. I want to dominate the phone lines because Kranky don't want to send me the link. Me not talk about that anyway. But that's it is. Him say if me send you the link already, so if you come on, him say, or if you come off iPhone. That's what I'm saying. You come on the line. If you come on the stream, I come off the phone. So I tell you what I'm saying. Cause you know him staring him or complain.
He complained. But he set you up just now. To let me.
Him say me a coward. Him call me coward. I think gonna praise me. Wait a minute before the game. I think don't say, oh, you're a military man, you're military this and military that. No, the man call me coward. The man call me coward. So we never support people go to the military. Gunners boss. Princess Jillian say cranky culture because of your social commentary through the podcast and to your song. Cranky culture. But you know, Princess, you have to go back to the drum board because in Tingney, you have a ring and rhyme to it. Like the concept in terms of your explanation as to why that name. But we need some. Me not the rhyming business. I'm a DJ. I mean, a rhyming business. Somebody have the audacity to say coward cranky.
You see what Gunner's boss calls? You're blaming Gunner's boss for that.
Whoa, people, it's your take liberties. Man, say coward cranky. Why may I tell you? May I get beat? You see me get beaten? You see that before the game? You see what Gunner's boss start? Gunner's boss, not treat you like Miguel. You go on, not treat you like Miguel. Wait. So him just change the career. You know what? You do it wrong. Right? Just give me the bad name before. So me just you say that's what you say. Must say that's what you say.
You gotta change the seat to that thing.
It's not entertaining. They take no risk. 90% for one goal. Well, Rob Smith, when you reach final, no matter how great you play, if you win, you're good. The difference between how you play through the tournament and what you do to make you get over the line. Nobody cares how you play the final or not. So long as you were very good through the tournament and entertaining, but also play good football. But if you play the final and play brilliantly and look good and lose, nobody don't care about you. They don't care about the winners. So nobody talk about how much people come second in the COPA America or second in the Euros. I don't talk about how we win. So I'm not into playing boring football for a sustained period. But if it's a one game to win it, I can live with that. Hey, me like Kranky G. Me like Kranky G chorus. We get hot people. Me like Kranky. You know what the G stand for? What the matter? Me like Kranky G. Me like Kranky OG. Yeah, OG nobody there. Somebody, Miguel, try to tell me. Miguel, me sorry, Miguel, we can't talk to you. Can't me talk to you, Miguel? A program will go left. I will not go left. Miguel, you can if you call me, I'm take a call, Miguel, but not now, because before the game on the phone. But if you take a call, Miguel, you can't talk about no politics. It has to be football. I tell you from now, because
you gotta see his face. You can't.
Yeah, me can't talk. Miguel, you don't want me go. When me I go, Miguel, you don't want to go with me. Trust me. In fact, it's so dark. Me just if you go to by myself, go chill. And you know, them people are going out in a South Korea now are going out in room for like a week. If you go, like to be in isolation, that me have to go to Miguel. We can't deal with it.
So let me ask you this. England have about 6 players that scored 20 plus goals this season in the league.
Yeah.
To include Harry Kane with 44 goals. Right?
Right.
So that's over 120 goals, 140 goals that they're responsible for. Right? To name a few, Foden, Bellingham, Harry Kane, what's the striker name again? That came on and scored.
Watkins, Ollie Watkins.
There is a lot of goals they scored during the course of the season.
Right.
And they struggled to score goals. Is it because they're picking these players because they're doing well, but they don't necessarily complement each other or have a way of playing that could bring out the best in them?
I think they're trying to pick the best players in each of the positions. That's first and foremost. And then he may pick some complementary players, right? And I think that's part of the problem, which is if you listen, Miguel, I try to call him. Just tell Miguel, say the phone busy, Miguel. Miguel, the phone busy. Miguel, before the game is off, then you can call in. I apologize, Miguel. I think that's what he's trying to do, right? Pick the best players. I mean, that's a lot of coaches do that, right? Because international football is a little bit different. But I also think it's not just who you pick, it's who you play. I think he struggles from making, and I think Grimmy had that too, the most difficult decisions. So here's the thing, people. It was very obvious to everybody, and you hear me talk about it on the stream. You know, we're transitioning into England versus Spain, if you didn't realize that. Even though Kane was brilliant in Bundesliga, it was clear through the tournament that either something's wrong with it or he has slowed down significantly. And one would say, well, that doesn't make any sense, Kranky. He scored 44 goals, as you mentioned, but he was beyond poor in every aspect. You know Kane. He drops deep, he pick it up, his passes are sharp, he can go long, he can go short, he holds the ball up well. He did nothing well in the tournament. Neither hold the ball up, didn't run the lines, didn't pass. He couldn't run the lines anyway. And he can't press. So if you notice in that game, Morata for Spain, I don't think Morata scored a goal in the tournament, if I may be mistaken, but he was the first and second line of defense. He worked his socks off. And they attacked through the wings with their dynamism. And so that's how Spain was dangerous. Control the middle of the park, get the ball out wide to Nico and to my 16-year, I'm always messed up, name, Yamal. And they will do the work. And then what they will do, they either cross the ball or get the ball in the space in the middle to create danger, right? England didn't have that center forward that did anything in the game. He was beyond bad. In fact, people, I have never heard so many people call for his head. It was amazing how many people called for his head, including Tottenham supporters, Tottenham fans. The Hurricane is treated like royalty in England, but people just want to win, right? They don't really care. And he was beyond bad, seriously. And Southgate has to own that. I understand what he did. People, I keep telling you people this. There's politics in football. There's politics in picking teams, like it or not. And that political situation in the England team was apparent, evident, and clearly demonstrated during their play in the Euro because Kane shouldn't have been on the field.
Well, and if you're correct about that, then they do not deserve to win any major tournament because I know you would disagree with me, but part of having the right mentality to win is being able to put the team first. And if in their conversation today, through the tournament, they seem to be suggesting that that he was injured. if he's injured and performing in the way in which he did, and you have other people, you have 2 other strikers at least, with the ability to give more, 100% more, and you won't play them, then that's not the right mentality, right? And whether that's the players or the manager, whatever the case may be, he cannot be on the pitch when you have people, because this is tournament. This is win and go home, right?
Yeah.
Win or go home. So for me, if that politics exists, look, you have what position does Palmer play?
Palmer plays normally where Saka plays. He plays on the right. Or he plays the 10. Or he plays the 10, actually. Or he plays the 10.
That's where he plays for Chelsea?
He plays where Saka plays or plays the 10. Either one of those positions.
Right. He's a winger.
Yeah.
Right? But he's coming on for Saka. Right?
He didn't really come on for Saka in those games, because Saka was on the field most of the time.
Look, the reason why Pep Guardiola is a winner, because he don't play those games.
Yeah.
Right?
He plays who he thinks is going to give him a chance to win.
He did an interview. Joe Hart did an interview and talked about how when Pep came in and how the conversation that Pep had with him. And one of the things that he said to him is, look, I can try to help you become what I want, but I'm here to win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the right mentality. So if you play in those games, and it happens a lot here in the US in football, where we like this one and we like that one. It happens a lot in England. If you want to win, you have to be decisive, and you have to do what I call, you have to make the honest decisions, right? You got to there's no reason in that England team that Saka should be dominating the right wing position, and you have Cole Palmer as well. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, here's what I think happened, actually. So, look, Southgate was in a bind, people. Let's think about this. So, Harry Kane, prolific goal scorer, scored 44 goals, right? Foden, player of the year in supposedly the best league in the world. And I said supposedly because before the game and I disagree about the best league in the world. They had the 2 players of the season for the 2 top leagues in the world. Not disputable. La Liga and in the EPL. Bellingham for La Liga, Foden. So if you don't play either of them, you're going to get beaten, right? The problem you play both of them is you don't have the width. There's nobody rubbing the line on the left because Bellingham is playing inside and Foden is playing inside. And Foden was atrocious for most of the tournament. Foden didn't have a great game, any game. Bellingham didn't have a great game. He had great moments, any game. Saka had great game and some great moments. Kane was awful. So think about your front 4 not delivering as you'd expect to. And Nico and Yamal are devastating people. That's the series right there. But you don't have any scorers. Meno and Rice are not goal scorers. Rice does take a shot good here and there from distance. So you 4 main people up front. That's why Palmer should play more, Watkins should play more, Gordon should have played. Not debatable.
So for me, to the argument that you just made from the very beginning, and I do want to criticize Southgate. I'm a coach myself, and it's difficult, and we always got to realize that we don't have all of the information. But if he's considering, if I don't play this one and I don't play that one, I'll get beaten by the media, then he's not the right man for the job. You've got to do what is right, because if he had won the Euros, he'd have been a hero today. Right?
Yes.
You have to make those tough decisions. Right? And obviously something was wrong while Harry Kane wasn't able. But you have guys on the bench that is quite capable, not more than capable. Ollie Watkins scored 20-something goals this season.
I think if he took a
point before you say that,
yeah.
And you gotta look at these guys. These guys are given 10 and 15 minutes to come in, and they're using it. Ollie Watkins came in for what 10 minutes the other day, right? And he put them through to the final. Palmer came in yesterday with what, maybe he had a few more minutes than that, maybe 25, 30 minutes, and he scored. So these guys are so committed and focused that whatever little time they get, they're contributing, and yet they're,
before the game, I gotta cut you there. You got the link. You've been on the phone for a while now before the game. So you have a choice. Because I get beaten, but you're on the phone and you have access. So you gotta make it fine up. All right?
Yes. Yeah, so, no,
you have the link. We send the link on you, so you have the link.
I was gonna tell you that just no. I want to just share an observation with you that that Gunner's boss and Miguel seems to be coordinating the team. so you got to be mindful of that. No, but before I go, it's just.
Yeah. You can do it without the thing. You said me? Yes, I'm fine with that.
I think the anytime those politics step into the football, it make winning difficult. You've got to be decisive as a manager. You've got to make the tough decisions, and you've got to play the people that could win in the football match at the end of the day at that level.
You know, it's fun. Yeah. Let others call in. You can click on the link.
All right, so you say it by the bell. Say it by the bell.
See it by the bell. It's right. So let me just go. So people, at 7:15, if my likes exceed my who's watching, I'm gonna drop a preview of the song. And I'm gonna drop the whole song, okay? You know, a DJ, you have to drop a little piece first, then pull it back and drop it again. I mean, I have no turntable to do that, so I don't know how I'll do it. I either do it through the phone or do it through StreamYard. But you know, make sure the thing's set up, you know. So it's set up, right? Good. So what time now? 9 minutes to 7. So if me thing they exceed, if the likes them exceed the number of people watching, which they do now, I'm gonna drop the song. I would suggest that you just withhold your beating. Because I know a lot of beating, you know. Withhold my beating. And also people, no cut me off. But this song play out first. Listen to the words. Not focus too much on the DJ. Because I'm amateur, right? I'm fresh. Just come out of whatever DJ. Nothing go to DJ school. So anyway, I keep talking with the football a little bit. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the Euros because a lot of you watch it. What I thought about the Euros, though, is that I think about Jamaica and I think about the Euros. Spain have Kranky sing. No. There's no singing. I go Lulu. Okay, get away, Lulu. And not them singing, Lulu. Croaking maybe, no singing. Spain has dynamic wingers, people. And I thought about Jamaica. I say, you know what? If Jamaica get all the players we're here about, we have the prodigal son, we have Greer, we have Nelson. If we get Greenwood, we have Cephas. Those wingers can be dynamic. All 5 of them, people. Trust me. No, because we want Cephas and say make decision. He will learn when he's on the bench. Say if he want to play, he must make better decision. I will be on the bench. So Miguel try calling. I'm a deaf calling. Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Kranky, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
This is Miguel.
Hey, Miguel. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. Just for clarity, first of all, and I don't intend to get into anything outside that on your sports program, but I did not call you unintelligent, sir, because I believe every human being has some degree of intelligence, even those with not medicine. I refer to the comment based on my view. I see it as an unintelligent one. But I did not call you unintelligent.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification.
Second, not a problem, sir.
Even though I didn't know I have an unintelligent view, but keep going.
Then I may be tempted to call you conceited, but leave it at that.
Okay. No, I don't think people have unintelligent views. They may have views whereby you may not agree with their views. It's their perspective. Their views may be informed by something that which you're not privy to, their experiences, their situation, how they operate. But go ahead. I don't think I have any. I don't think I have one unintelligent views. It may not be what you agree with, but
Secondly, I need some clarification. If your program is one of which your view is paramount and others are treated with some sort of neglect, because obviously we are on 2 different sides of the political aisle here in America. On the contrary, I'm not necessarily 100% in support of the front runner for the party that I support. But
are you a Republican? Wait. Are you Republican or Democrat? We're going off a tangent, but I'm gonna allow you to go.
Republican. I support the Republican.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because their views align with mine, regardless of who the president or the president nominee is.
Right.
Currently, their view, that can change any minute. I don't think anybody should be die-hearted anything. It can change based on how you see, your own view if it aligns with yours.
Right.
So I'm not dieting anything, but currently I rather their agenda, so I support it. So as it relates to the sports, though, the other day I heard you saying to Mr. Speed that the contract should be a two-way thing in terms of termination, because I'm sure many aspects of it is.
Right.
But in terms of termination, it should be a two-way thing.
Right.
But in some case, wouldn't that be at a disadvantage to the JFF? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, not even hypothetical. This coach, right? You weren't in full agreement with him staying because you don't think he was doing the best job possible, right?
Right.
So if in a case where he didn't volunteer his departure, right, then the JFF, if they were thinking as you, they would be forced to let him go, which would be at a cost to the JFF.
Right.
Okay. You understand me?
Right.
So give me a situation where you have a coach that is not performing. You understand me?
Right.
It's best he leaves, and then it's so you don't have to be forcing him out. So there's some advantage to how the contract is right now.
No, there's zero advantage for the JFF. Zero. Here's why there's zero.
How so?
So here's why there's zero. So the way the contract is written, if the coach is terminated early, he gets compensated for the remainder of his contract. Right? Yeah. If he leaves voluntarily, he has no penalty. So what you're basically saying is that I have to make sure you serve out your term, else I got to pay you. But if you don't, you have no repercussions. That cannot be okay. Most organizations, when they write these contracts, and it's a lot of them anyway, especially in the football world nowadays, are making sure they have clauses which allow them to get compensated by the person who's leaving or the organizations acquiring the purposes and services. So, for example, when Graham Potter went to Chelsea, Brighton got $20 million or £20 million. When the Newcastle administrative person went to Man U recently, and it took a long time to get there, Man U had to pay, right? There's a reason for that. Because you're supposed to live, when you're doing the contract initially, you have no idea how it's going to turn out, So hindsight is great about you may not want the coach, but if you let the coach go early, you have to pay. So why shouldn't they? And here's Jamaica was so used in this situation. It's amazing. And the Ireland FA, in my view, were not forthright in what they were saying about the timing of everything. They are playing games, but Ireland FA and the coach playing games.
Kranky, I agree with what you're saying, but what I say at the end of the day, I know a win-win situation for you right now, brother.
No, it's you, and that's what the JFF. Wait, Miguel. The JFF thought they won. That's why you see when I talked to Speed about it, he didn't disagree. The JFF thought they won. The man left.
But he didn't agree either.
No, he can't agree. Miguel, look, Miguel. Some things are subtle in life, Miguel. Just look at the subtleness, now, Miguel, man. Come on, Miguel, man. You think Rudolph? You know Rudolph is a very confident man, and rightly so. But you think he might come on and say, "Boy, man, wrong 100%, Kranky, XY." No, why would he do that? Come on, Miguel. You know better than that, Miguel. The fact they say he didn't say Miguel. He didn't say Kranky. You're totally wrong, did he?
No.
Okay, good.
I mean, I listened and he was mumbling some stuff on that break, like slight disagreement also.
No. Look, he's a smart man. Look, I say this all the time. He's a very smart man, but we don't know everything about everything as people, right?
But, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Kranky, I agree with you from the financial perspective because most contract, in some contract, you have is more bilateral, some are unilateral.
Yes, exactly.
Right. But what I said, Kranky, in this case, I not see what the big loss because at least when they get stuck with a coach, we might not carry the World Cup.
But here's the thing. Miguel, I fully understand. Look, the JFF got burned by Schaefer. And in any relationship, when you get burned, you're trying to not repeat those situations. Some people are glutton for punishment and they repeat it, like in relationships. I don't want to go on a tangent again with relationship. You go to the same person and then burn, but you keep going back. You seem like you deserve what you get, right? In this case, they got burned by Schaefer. Took them a while to pay off Schaefer. They ran up debt to pay off Schaefer. And they were saying, we don't want it again. So they were happy when this occurred. But if you look, when you do this contract at the inception of the contract, they should have realized, you know what? They probably should have a break clauses for them in the contract. If that was the case, then they should have a break clause for themselves. so that both parties are not liable if either terminates each other. And the coach would never go for that.
Right.
He would never go for that. He would never go for that. He wouldn't go for that.
Like some performance, like some target-based thing that achieve certain targets. Like
right. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure they had targets in there, and they may give him reduced compensation. He didn't achieve certain targets.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure they have, but it was mainly, to me, geared towards him versus a more balanced contract. I don't think the contract was balanced. And Gunners Boss, when we get this finished, I'll address your comment, Gunners Boss. Yeah. So yeah.
All right, but now I take up my time.
But Miguel, before you go, Miguel, let me just say this. When I have my other channel, I want you upon it, Miguel. I want to have the conversation with you.
Yo, Kranky, I cannot wait. Because guess what?
Miguel,
right now, right now, I'm burning to address your friend. You see your friend that called in.
Right.
Subsequent to my call the other day.
Yeah.
Yes, him. Just bear that in mind. Anytime, any day, I need to debate him.
Oh, you mean my lawyer friend talking about?
Quote unquote, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's an attorney. Right. He's been an attorney for a long time.
Fine. Yeah, but he's not talking, from that,
No, I tell you, he's an attorney, and I won't say what his spouse is, but let's say they're both in law. Let's put that way. They're in the law field.
Well, he needs to stick to law.
All right.
Put it that way. He needs to stick to law.
All right. I hear
tell him that we're ready any day. Any day.
Okay. All right.
They're your first subscriber for that fun there. All right. We're starting about that. And good program, man.
All right. Thanks, Miguel. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Jason Guna. I have to get help, Jason. When I go that route, I have to get some help, Jason. But that's a good point, Jason. It's tough just doing one, much less doing others. So people were at 19:02, 13 more minutes before me drop me. Why? I get nervous, people. And people, me and them start sweating, because me get beaten from Ricardo, from Jason, from a friend of Queens, but the last song. So me and them start sweating. What if me nervous? What drop me song? What if me nervous? Even before the game, give me a little thing, say, boy, the song not terrible song. And you feel better. You need affirmation in life, people. So let's go back to the football a little bit and talk about England and Spain. So when I look at the Spain team, I think to me the key strategies were, as we think about how they played, proactive and cohesive playing style, people, right? Emphasize teamwork over individual brilliance, even though you couldn't tell that, given how their wingers were in the Euros, because those wingers are ridiculously good. I hope Arsenal get Nico Williams, by the way, people. Barca, everybody are chasing, including Barca. I think he has a release cost of about 55 mil, but that release cost won't matter because people are going to outbid each other. He was brilliant. And Yamal's release cost about $1 billion, so he's not going anywhere. He's going to be at Barca. So the cohesive strategy of Spain, I think, set them apart from all the teams in the Euro. They won all 5 games. They were better than England yesterday. In the first half, I think their possession rate was like 60-something% to England's 30, whatever. So they were just a better team yesterday, and it came across. England had spurts and periods and moments in the game. I thought when they scored the goal, when Palmer scored, they had a chance to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. I think when you press the team like Spain did, and England come to the game, there's a window there England didn't take advantage of. They set up more drop off, and Spain came back, and obviously we know what the outcome is. So England had more of the individually known players. Spain had a team, and the team won. Spain has a mixed team in their defense, a little bit older, but they have young players on their team, right? Morata is a little bit older, but Nico is young. Yamal is young. They have some of the players in their mid-20s. Pedri is young. Gavi wasn't there, is young. They have a number of players who are coming through, all play the same way. A number of them, Yamal, Gavi, and Pedri, all came to the Barca system. People, it's a style of play, right? It's really, really impressive. Can't get the ball off them. They make brilliant decisions. They're trained to think. And that was demonstrated during the Euro. And by the way, Spain went to the more difficult side of the draw by the side that had Belgium and France and Germany, and they've won all their games during the Euros. Late against Germany, when they scored in 2 minutes before extra period end, and then in England the last 5 minutes. And I thought yesterday, Southgate changed his tactics, I should say, not tactic, when initially in the game, Saka was deeper, right? So Walker was getting help with Nico, right? Even though they were still making penetrative runs. But then he played Saka higher So now what normally happens is when Cucurella, Nico, and then you have the left midfielder there helping, right? You have to have a more compact defense. Saka has to help. When Saka decides to stay higher, you see Cucurella trudging forward, no Saka coming to help, or Saka not helping with Nico, they were vulnerable. So the more you're trying to create more vulnerability in Spain by having Saka higher, it worked in contrast to how it worked out, and England paid for it actually. And Spain had a really good tournament, and they look like they're gonna be around for a while. And by the way, people, I can't wait to talk to Rudolph again. Because I remember on the program, I think it wasn't this interview, the one before that, we talked to Rudolph, and I was talking about ball possession and playing position football. You went to me about playing what them win. I'll go back and find the clip. I have to go find that clip with people. Because he was basically saying that, well, you're cranky, but you want to play ball position football, Spain already won up. First of all, Spain win the Women's World Cup, not with all their best players. Still dominated when the Women's World Cup. And they dominated in the Euros. They dominated. They didn't just win the Euros. They dominated with a team mixed of youngsters and some older folks. And their defense to me was not the greatest. But their midfielders and forwards and wingers were really, really good. Right? Dynamic team, effective wingers, attacking football, consistent performance, emphasis on youth and emerging talent was part of that whole equation, resulting in them winning pretty easy. So very impressive by Spain. And one thing that I think they did really well, actually, their tactical awareness and their pressing tactics, which is, England have good footballers, right? They couldn't keep the ball. I didn't say it was a traditional Spain team. I said I outlined what the attributes they exhibited during the tournament. So it wasn't the Gavi, Iniesta, Busquets team, but because I don't think that team had apart from Villa, the dynamic wingers that this team has. They were playing through the wing quite a bit. In fact, in the first half, we were saying that Shaw had Yamal in his pocket. The problem that England had was Shaw started going more forward. Yamal got between Gui and Shaw. So when he got the ball, Shaw King recovered. Gui got to focus on Morata and Yamal. Yamal then goes on to Gui. He can play the ball across. Walker was tucked in too much. That was England's problem. But they forced you to do certain things. Now, they weren't playing tiki-taka football. They were pressing high and pressuring you. When they get the ball, they sort of work the ball. So it wasn't your traditional tiki-taka. They're moving the ball quicker through the lines, actually. I think we would have been that argument. Spain went away from their tiki-taka style. No. People, here's the mistake you guys are making. We're talking about possession football. Call it what you want to call it. Man City doesn't just play tiki-taka. It's possession football. If I have the ball, you can't beat me. If I have the ball, you can't get the ball. If I have the ball, you can't score. If I have the ball, you have to chase me. If I have the ball, you're exerting energy and you're getting tired. So I think we're confusing this concept about tiki-taka and thinking just 2-yard passes. No, they're keeping the football. They're going from side to side. They're going from one wing to the next by going through the lines or playing through the middle and switch the play. They are taking the ball and recycling the ball. They're still keeping the ball. It's about position football. And my song will tell you that. But anyway, England can't, no, because they get, it's almost like how Man City plays, right? Look how Man City plays. I think Man City take more touches of the ball than Spain does, which is they keep the football. And when they lose it, everybody presses. You look at Man City, they don't have any star when it comes to defense. See Messi for Argentina? De Bruyne press, right? Well, Haaland saw the press. Maybe the one player on the team would press as hard as he should. But all their players press. Grealish playing defense. When Villa plays no defense. Doku trying to play defense, even though that's not his forte, right? Rodri, everybody press. Everybody press. So if you have a team that's in your face, and it's like any other sport, people, is when you get punched in the face, which is what Spain does, you have plan, you have strategy, you have ideas, and they punch you in the face, you struggle. You struggle. I can tell you, it's very impressive the way they play both defensively and offensively. I thought England had moments in the game, the Bilham touch to Palmer to score. I thought Holly Watkins had one late where he had the ball and tried to turn the box. The ball went to his left foot. If it went to his stronger foot, he may have been able to turn, and he would have been in on goal. I thought the last set piece they took where Rice had the ball, keeper punched it out. He got headed by, I think it was it Gui headed it? And it was headed off the line. they had a chance to tie the game, right? So even though Spain, to me, was a better team, England had opportunities and moments in the game where the outcome could be different. But Spain was the best team in the tournament and deserved to win. And England is now 6 or 58 plus years and still can't win the Euros. Still can't win the World Cup. Oh, Lord, goodness. I don't call it English football. It's just that it's tough to win. There's only 8 teams that have won the World Cup? Right? Euros is a little bit different. A lot of teams have won the Euros. Portugal, Greece, Denmark, teams you don't expect to win, playing as team, but it's not the same with the World Cup. Very few teams are going to win the World Cup, and that continues to be the case. So, look, we'll see. 5 more minutes before we drop the premiere. People, 95 people in the chat, 108 people. Me happy today. Claudine, we can't complain, Claudine. We can't complain. We see 100 likes. I know people come and go, but when there's more likes than people watching, it's a good thing. So if I drink water, it feels so good. 58 years, Drew Ross, and he's going to continue because nothing wrong with the World Cup either. Even though they have a young team, actually. They get rid of Harry Kane, even though he may still make the World Cup. They have a young players. Bellingham is 20. Palmer is about 2021. Saka is 22. Gui is early 20s. Stone won't be too old. Walker will not be there. He'll move on. Ben White don't want to play for England. I'm sure they're going to work. They have a young team. Pretty young team. They have some older folks on there like Trippier, but they have a young enough team to do well. So they're going to be good for years, actually. I'm good for years. Now, the next discussion topic. So that's the Euros. Disappointing yesterday. I picked Colombia. I picked England. You see how my day turned out. Wasn't a good game Tuesday. Next topic is the the furor around COPA America and how it was planned and how it was executed. Now, people, don't beat me. I said this in about. We stay on this channel and we beat the JFF and talk about the incompetent. But I think incompetence is not everything is about incompetence, actually. Because when it comes to logistics, a lot of people have problems. Do you remember a few years ago, Liverpool played Champions League in Paris and what happened, whereby people with tickets didn't get into the stadium or get in the stadium an hour after the game started, and there was a big issue and investigation done about the Parisian blamed the English for what happened and then came back and apologized. And then you see a lot of situations occur in the world. The Spain situation with their women's team and what transpired. More recently, the Ireland situation with a woman who have accused some of the male coaches of sexual assault, right, with Ireland. And that's why in the Grimmy situation, they had a press conference the way time they did, because they were trying to dumb down that noise, no matter what they want to tell the people. Their timing was about to dumb down the noise from the women's team. And that one of the reporters asking that question. That's why the Greenwood question came up, right? Whether it's Canada having problems, money problems with the administration, whether it's Brazil, where the administration head in, the government want to change it, FIFA came in and put them to go back where they go to, right? Whether it's the US with their coach Burrow Walter, and situation with his personal life and what transpired years ago. So there's issues in a lot of different administration. Doesn't recuse the JFF from what they have done or not done. Point I'm trying to make is that even in the industrialized world, in first world countries supposedly, people have problems. People have problems, right? And you see with Spain was a big deal. People have problems. And those problems continue to happen. They're much more apparent and they're much more out there for the more developing countries. But everybody have problems, right? The US fired their coach because they didn't make it to second round of COPA. And by the way, people, I'm going to digress a little bit. I read an article today. I'm going to try to find it, actually. It was about Deloitte & Touche. It was probably Deloitte & Touche. Andre, I think I sent it. Didn't I send the link, Andre? Deloitte & Touche who are probably they're in the top 4 accounting firms in the world. Huge firm, make hundreds of millions of dollars in revenues. They're going to be working with the U.S. Football Association to, give me 1 second, people. I'm trying to get this link to Andre. They're going to be working with them to help them. The goal, they say, is to make soccer, which is football for us, the number 1 sport in America, people. And if you read it was on, if you go on LinkedIn and look up something for Deloitte, you'll be able to see it. And what's impressive in terms of what they're doing, they're going to have a center of excellence. They see it like in Jamaica, where business, sponsors, team can come together. They have a site in Atlanta, in Georgia they're working on. It was a really impressive write-up about some of the things they focus on and the strategic objective that they have and how going to work, Deloitte's going to work with them to achieve that objective. And it's big. And it shows you that it's very difficult for a country like Jamaica to compete in these situations, but also says that Jamaica can do a better job of bringing together a community to let the team move forward. All right? Gunners Boss says the Copa America outsold the Euros and the finals was twice the price of Euros. Is that so, Kranky? I haven't checked on this, Gunners Boss, but I do know that when you have Argentina playing, you know the nature of, if the price is more than them, it's because the Euros, people in Europe are very conscientious about pricing, and they believe football is their game, and they shouldn't be taken advantage of when it comes to football. Now, I'm sure the ticket prices will be, if you're doing resale, they do a lot of resale in the States, by the way, for these things. A lot of resale. They do a lot of resale in the States, by the way. Before the game, you got to turn down your TV. All right, people. 183 people, 108 likes. I'm going to drop the song now, people. I'll drop the song right in the middle. Before the game. So
yes, sir.
People, watch me on. You ready for the song? You know what I'm going to do? I was going to do the song from StreamYard. I'm going to do it on the phone. I think the phone sounds better. So people, let me hear from already. People, by the way, I said this. If you need to get a headset. So either get a headset or a AirPod to listen to the song, people. The song is about 2.5, 3 minutes. I'll play the whole thing. But let me know when you're ready. Because me ready. Let me know when you're ready, people. Headset, AirPods, headset, like this, to listen to the song. Tell me when you're ready, people. I'm not going to play it when you're ready. So I'm going to keep talking. I want to see you dropping the link. People saying you're ready. Drop the song. Then we'll drop it. Tell me when I have AirPod on. Okay, if you just listen to it playing to a computer speaker, it's not going to sound good. Jason, go ahead, get some headset, Jason. Get some headset. You may not be ready for the DJ. You may beat it. Jason, make sure you're ready to beat me. Right? Make sure you're ready to beat me. So you're ready. So people, let me know when you're ready. I'll drop the song, but you have to have a headset on. If you just play it through your computer, it's not going to sound as good as it sounds. All right? I'll wait 1 more minute and then 10 minutes ready. So when I finish playing the song and I get feedback, we'll talk about COPA, Marsh's perspective, BS's perspective, and we'll walk through that. I may not get to the coaching situation in Jamaica today, but it's fine. People said I'm ready. All right. Me I get P ready, me I get people. So now I'm having a headset. All right. Hey, before the game. You ready for the game?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Me turn it. Me blast it up, people. Me turn this up. Listen. Testing. All right, people. Here we go. Don't be too hard. Reggae Boyz, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponents yield. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach to play possession cause possession is our obsession. We built a team from far and wide, but them playing like a pickup side. Need to change the style of play. Next coach, do you hear what I say? I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who... Me have to start that.
Pull up selector. Pull up.
Pull up. Me want to hear another code when I say 1 year no. People.
Gunners Boss and Baggio.
Me just pull up and start over.
Gunners Boss and Baggio now waiting to
No, Baggio. Listen to the words, people. Listen to the words. Stop talking about DJ. Listen to the words. The words we are talking about now. When I listen to the words, I start over. Listen to the words, people. The words we are talking about now. The words, not just the DJ. Because DJ are amateur. So the words, people. Yes, me I say. I start. I try to say we can start over. Listen to the words, people. Words we are talking about. If you're singing, I'm not going. You're singing. Reggae Boyz, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponents yield. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach to play possession cause possession is our obsession. We built a team from far and wide, but them playing like a pickup side. Need to change that style of play. Next coach, do you hear what I say? I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession, cause possession is our obsession. The team's defense is very strong and really puts a foot wrong. But the offense is very meek. In fact, some days it's just plain weak. We need the team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Have to have ball possession, cause possession is our obsession.
Pull up.
Need to keep the ball. Otherwise, we are set for a ball. Wait, I said before the game. I
don't know if the people realize that you are a retired financial expert from Wall Street. People talking about voice training and all kind of things. I don't know if they realize that, Kranky.
Actually, you know what? I have a better version, but the problem is, there were you and I talk about it. There were 3-4 verses I need to get into the song.
Uh-huh.
The better version I had, because it sounded better, because this had some thing in it. I didn't play that one because I had some verse I need to get into this one, which wasn't the better one. I could have played the other one, but I decided to play this one instead because the verse I want to get in, which you're gonna hear soon, I want it in the song. But we'll keep running, people. I'll keep running.
Look, Lulu said true.
2026 is almost here. Don't want it to be a nightmare. I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Most teams play possession cause possession is their obsession. If you haven't got your passport yet, has the quota been met? We need you on board in real time, so get your papers and join the line. We need you to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Play possession cause possession is our obsession. You keep referring to 98 as if achieved just by faith. Need a real strategy on the ground. Don't have time to mess around. Need that team to have possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. Work on the team style of play. Do so now without delay. Fans don't want a long ball game cause that style of play is very lame. We want the team to have possession to ensure good ball progression. We need a team to have possession cause possession is our obsession. All right, people, that's my song. I'll stick to it. Stick to it.
Let me give you an idea. People are saying that Claudine liked the rhythm. She loved the rhythm and the lyrics good. I think, what's the young man name that sing Drift?
I don't know his name.
You might need to send it to him and see what he.
No, I'm not a DJ. I'm not a DJ.
I know, but you might need to send it to him. You could clean it up and make it a little more professional, because I think that is really the complaint. I like.
They'll get over it.
Because I don't know what Drift is about, but it's big times.
I have no idea. Mrs. Up.
Yeah, TJ is his name.
You do what?
TJ is his name.
Who's TJ?
I'm a Jamaican artist.
Now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponent heal. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. We built a team from far out. All right, people, enough of the music. We're good to go, people. We're good to go. So before the game, see it?
Yeah.
We keep work on it. We're not nobody discouraged. We'll keep work on it.
Nah, you can't be discouraged. Yeah,
keep work on it. Thought the words were good and everything good. The DJ needs some work. But DJ keep work on it.
Look, you're in good standing if Claudine is approving.
Yeah, if I'm Claudine approved, me just say done it. If I'm Claudine approved, boy, I'm so happy. Claudine say the lyrics and the beat, because I'm going to see the beat tonight. To buy the beat. Yeah. Guna says better than the last time. not much better, but better than last time. So, he said much better than last time. Yeah, good now. Work in progress, good now, work in progress. But people go back to the football.
Look, Ricardo Baggio having he's visualizing it being played at halftime at the Reggae Boyz game.
No. Ricardo, you know, you're the words. You know, you're the words of Ricardo. Well, now you're the words of good enough. You know, you're the words of good enough. People. Ricardo, now you're the words of good. So remember for the words them. I give them credit to say, you know what? If they play football it's their time to play football like fine wine. There are a lot of things in there which you have to connect, right? They're not just plain simple words. And I said they have the skills to battle. Lord God, I get Gunners boss. Yeah, here we go. Good evening. Kranky Life Sorts. Yes.
Big up yourself, man.
Bless up.
I mean, I know you're not gonna try this thing here. You're not going to try this thing here to suck even sweet, you know. I know people them in that comment, you know, so dishonest, man. Tell Kranky said the lyrics them okay, but he might run. He might run left the rhythm. The rhythm I go 40 miles per hour and Kranky I go 120. Yeah, you're listening.
You think so? You think so? I thought it was the other way around actually.
No, man. You're listening to yourself, but you're not listening to the rhythm. So either the rhythm will leave you or you will leave the rhythm.
Okay.
You're not different. You're not coordinate with the rhythm. You're work left the rhythm. You're working against the rhythm, Kranky. The people them now tell you that. Tell them say them not to massage the ego. If them want you to be better and be great, them have to tell you the truth.
No, Gunners boss asked me why I was fighting the rhythm. He said I was fighting the rhythm. I wasn't trying to fight it. For you to write the song, the words have to connect to the rhythm, you know. And sometimes that's why you hear something, you speed up and slow down. So yeah. Some of you guys are harsh graders, though. Harsh graders. When I judge against professional, you can't judge against professional people.
No, that's what I say. You need to know. So what you need to know when you're going to a studio now, you're gonna listen to the beat and work with the beat. Don't make the beat work. You work the beat.
All right. I hear you. This people. Yeah. There's no studio here, you know. I go on my computer. I have the same equipment you see I have in front of me with my mic, and I just go on GarageBand and just do something. I have a studio. We don't have nothing. Just professional. So, but I'm having fun, people. I'm having fun.
You know what? We had to cry over criticism.
Yeah. You need me a ball. I work hard on it in the Guns ball. You need me a ball. You need me a ball.
Ball and get better.
I'll work on it.
Andre.
Yes, Gunners. What's going on, my brother?
Before or after the game, my boss?
Nah, before the game. Always before the game.
All right, sir. Yeah.
Preparation.
Yeah, man. So, wait. I went there at the show now. We're over COPA.
We're going to the mayhem and all the problems that COPA had and how they were administering the tournament, where we had fights in the stand at the Uruguay-Colombia game. We had mayhem at the ticketing for the finals. We had complained by teams like Bolivia that the training facilities were awful. We had problems with the fields, by Jesse Marsh complained that the field condition were problems. Not on the field, that the referees were biased, and we saw that in the Ecuador game, where Jamaica got the penalty, didn't get the penalty. Bielsa was scathing in his perspective across a number of different things. Referees, field, organization, just the whole thing. It's as bad as review and perspective you got. Most coaches will not be that blatant in their criticism in a public domain because they don't want to get fined or things of that nature, but they weren't holding back. Canada said they were disrespected and COPA was biased and referees were biased. It was scathing in terms of, you don't hear that with the Euro competition. I'm sure they have issues there too, but COPA, it was really bad actually, really bad.
I think because them bring it come to the United States, the logistic was kind of bad and it was hastily planned, not planned properly. Because remember the other day I said, what happened in that game between Colombia and Uruguay would not happen in Miami because the security would be up there National Guard style. But it looked like what happened yesterday down there is not really, is the fact that they sold more tickets more than they printed or something like that. So more people was there than could have hold him. So people was going through the vent. Right now, they must say people could have still last in the vent because...
No, Gunners boss. Let me tell you nonsense. What means you sold more ticket than you printed? That don't make no sense.
Yeah, them sell more ticket at something. They sold more ticket more than
seats in the stadium, I mean.
Yes.
Okay. Now more you print.
And they said people could not go into the parking lot without the ticket. You have to have the ticket and the parking ticket, something like that together. And they did not have both tickets. The people end up going into the parking lot.
So boss, Jason Gunner saying no, they sold the right amount and people without tickets bust the gate. That's what I heard also. That pickets without ticket went there and tried to scale the wall. You know, this happened at Jamaica a long time ago, Gunners boss. You know them thing going to go movie theater, Gunners boss. I go event, people just go there and just bum rush the gate. That's what they did. They bum rush the gate.
The Spanish people, them come out in massive. Well, they get different information from where Jason go now. So
when I was on the stream last night, that was said actually, which is people without. They said it on TV. People without tickets were there trying to get in, which is what some people do sometimes, right? So yeah.
Yes. But it wasn't really a thing where fans was fighting each other. People was just getting in to go see their Jesus.
Yeah, but remember there are different games in the Gunners boss. So Uruguay and Colombia, there were fights. Players, yeah.
But that part now, newness now. How you view newness? Because I don't care, what happened. Well, it's the same security thing. They said there was no security around their family.
Right, and that's what it was. They
was running in there to go help their family. But at the same time, if you lose your career and you never have enough money, how you are going to help your family when you plan to go help? Yes, and getting enjoying them things.
Yeah, but Gunners boss, may know this. If you are watch things like nice stands and your family there, you are decided, you know what? Me not care what happened to me and my family may protect.
Well, all I know. You see how the whole thing come back running a full circle now, Andre, which is something of foolishness. Because if come bowler try to, them don't know who them are try to blame the event, the people them for the stadium or whoever them want to blame. But this name Carnival or whatever it is.
Yeah. Come the ball.
If they can have problem with security, why can we have someone talk about security and run up and people are asking questions and personal security? There was no personal security there for Lionel Messi, Is the events, the security staff was there, Unless Lionel Messi have him personal bodyguard them where I come take him up after the game and drive him, go him have to go and stuff like that, So with the part there, it's kind of funny, but I mean, it is over. It was a competition which was like the MMA and the UFC. They said it's the roughest competition in all competition across football. But why, when they are going to make it possible, because we done with that and the fighting and everything, because it is what it is. It's never secure, but this is, as you know, these things is learn as you go. So if there's another one in America, it won't be this lax in security. They will make sure the security up to date.
Here's what funny, Gunners boss. So I was into on a YouTube channel and there was discussion about this, and it was mentioned that the security at CONMEBOL was much better, much more strict. The process that it had was much more stringent than what we have in CONCACAF, but apparently that's not the case. I don't know what happened there.
Look, I think understanding, and I think it's not clear, but it is clear for me in my mind, because there was an agreement, right, to host this tournament. And part of the agreement says that CONCACAF will manage all operations of the tournament independently. Okay? And that US Soccer will receive a hosting payment as part of hosting the tournament. So you have the agreement, and we say CONMEBOL, we say US Soccer, but it seems to me as though, based on the information I have, that CONCACAF was the one responsible for all of this. And I think FIFA will be watching, because a tournament is going to be hosted here in 2 years, and there were a number of things that CONCACAF, Jason, there's a number of things There's the field situation that obviously not going to fly with the World Cup in terms of just putting grass on top of the turf surfaces. 2-3 days before, that presents a tremendous risk for players, and of course it affects the quality of the game, as was pointed out. And you see it's a regular thing here. I was watching a USL championship game on I think it was Friday night, and the pitch was on a surface that they play baseball, and so 2/3 of the pitch is really nice. I mean, it's beautiful. And another third, you can see where they put the grass up, and I saw a player fixing the grass at some point in time. So I doubt they wouldn't allow that at the World Cup. The security thing, I think they need to understand, people in America is accustomed to rules and laws and obeying and whatever case may be, but they need to understand what the game means to people in different cultures. So obviously they probably didn't expect what happened at the game on Sunday, right, with Colombia playing Argentina. There's no way you expect that to be like Miami playing Atlanta or something like that. It's not going to be like that. It's a totally different fan base. So, the New York Times have an article that the headline, it's kind of strange. They said it was inhuman, not inhumane, but inhuman, right? Why the Copa America final was delayed and dangerously close to disaster. Dangerously close. That's a damning headline there.
But Andre, I would say this actually, which is you can't legislate for people who are going to try to turn up without tickets. You can try to keep the people as far away from possible from getting to the gates, right? So you go through a series of gates to get to the ultimate location where your seat is supposed to be. And as you do so, you're reducing the number of people who have access. The problem they have is everybody can come up to the stadium. They had some gates, some things there, some barriers, which weren't like walls. Maybe it's a good thing because people have been crushed, frankly. And some people just knock those down and they bum rush the gate, actually.
Well,
so
look,
yeah.
Only for the purposes of the conversation. I've been to football in a number of different places, World Cups, and professional football in England in different places. And in Europe, what I've seen, you go to the Emirates and there's a picture in the New York Times with the way the crowd was outside the stadium. It's the easiest thing to get people in and out of the stadium. They really have problems with that. What happened last night was, it's not a good look.
All right, Andre.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, because other people want to call in, so let me say this only. You see, yesterday that thing is that those fans that was being rowdy trying to get into that game, I wouldn't say they were American per se, Those were rowdy South American fans who, with some liquor inside of them, who want to get into that game.
That's what I'm saying. It's not Inter Miami playing Atlanta or Inter Miami playing Columbus Crew. It's a different fan base that the game means a lot more to them. It's different behavior.
Yeah, that was Messi versus James Rodriguez. But you what happened now? When you have a team which James is your ace on it, Colombia football gone to the dark.
He played well during the tournament. I wouldn't say. I mean, they hadn't lost in 2 years, Gunners boss. You can't say that.
Why you say that? Why you say that, Gunners boss?
Because if he is James is their best player, and James is not that is not all that of a great player. Him being up and down, inconsistently consistent. So when you have a James Rodriguez as your top baller, even though they go to the final, you know what I mean? I don't know how much more they can go. They need to develop some more players.
I would say this, right? One of the things that happens, and it comes out of the Caribbean a lot, and to be a professional footballer, it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of sacrifice. I hear guys talk about low on them and their performance. These are guys sacrificing and giving a lot to play this sport, to entertain people, and sometimes it's too easy for us to dismiss them as not being good enough. I think we need to change that conversation because the sacrifice is tremendous. It's not ordinary. It's among one of the toughest professions out there. Yes, in some leagues people get paid very, very well, but I don't think that's it's not everybody can do that. If you take the English League, for example, it's 600 people. If each team in the Premier League have 30 people on their roster, that's 600 people in the whole world that somebody believes is good enough to be in that space.
I'm in the comment section, Andre. I don't want to hold up and make the people and get mad and change their mind. So next call and the next call after the next call line up. Kranky, me in the comment.
All right, thanks, Gunners boss.
I will remember that the next time I call in.
Hey, Gunners boss, appreciate it. Appreciate the consideration too.
Yeah, I think James was good in this tournament.
No, he was very, very good actually. He was their best player. He was by a good decent distance too. Really good. I think Colombia. Look at their players. They don't have a lot of players with the pedigree that Argentina, Brazil, and even Ecuador, frankly, has. They don't have any Caicedo on their team. They have Lerma on their team. They don't have any big name players on their team. You think about their team in general. Sanchez doesn't even play in England anymore. James playing in Brazil. So you look at their team, it's amazing. And they're a team. We talk about being a team versus a team of stars. They're a team.
I expected them to win the final, but Argentina was able to keep them quiet. And
that was surprising, actually.
Yeah.
That was surprising. And Argentina, look, Martinez and Romario play well in the defense. Argentina have a decent midfield that played well. And Martinez came in and made a difference. So, yeah. Jason said Lerma is underrated. Yeah, but he's a good player, but it's not like he's, as I said before, look at the teams that Brazil plays for, Argentina play for, some of the Ecuadorian players, you can't, and also Uruguay. Uruguay has a lot of known players. Colombia have nobody at a Nunes level, at a Valverde level. They don't have any players like that in their team. At least with the pedigree in today's environment. Hamed at one point, that has changed over time. Hamed is not considered a main player. Yeah.
What do you think of Diaz's performance?
I thought Diaz was up and down. But I forgot about Diaz. So he's playing at the highest level for Colombia. He didn't turn up for this game, frankly.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't turn up for this game. The previous game he played well, especially when they're down to 10 men. He was running at Uruguay. He didn't turn up. He was kept quiet.
He actually lost the most duels in the match.
No, he didn't turn up at all.
He lost. I've never seen a number like this. He has lost 17 duels in the match.
Yeah.
That's a huge number.
And Argentina wasn't even pressing like how they were pressing, right? They pressed harder than Argentina. So you can understand people lose balls when you press and not give much room. Yeah, Ricardo said DePaul was the difference. Yeah, DePaul played well, actually. Probably the best of the... Think about McAllister, DePaul, Fernandez. He probably was the best of the midfielders of Argentina. But no, I mean, Diaz didn't turn up. And they looked to Diaz, right? They looked to Diaz.
What do you think?
Mr. Gunnar, good night.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Good night. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I had to call in and just I haven't said anything. Why are you laughing, Kranky?
Because we know you, Jason. So go ahead, Jason. Let's stop laughing. Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Good show as usual. Enjoying the banter and the discussion. But I had to call in and just give my take. The last time you dropped a song or that song, the possession song. I'll call it the song, right? Last time we heard it. I had a lot of choice words for it, and I just want to say that I love your fighting spirit. I love the fact that you've gone back into the lab and worked on your craft. But I very rarely do Gunner's boss ideas and mine align. But today I must agree with him. Yes, the rhythm is your friend. Okay, so you want to make it a part of what you're doing and not so much in opposition to it. Okay, but the lyrics can work. And when you master a bit more your breath control and when to take a breath and things of that nature.
See the
Then-
people in a class.
So Kranky,
Yeah, so you know, I am speaking from an informed place.
Right.
okay.
You know, I made music for a part of my life as well, so I'm not just calling to critique for critiquing's sake. I really and
Right.
truly admire your passion for wanting to be better at it, and I thought I would call with some constructive criticism.
And I do appreciate the constructive
So
criticism.
Jason, how could you help improve it?
Well, you know, I do have a class, but Kranky is my friend, and I, you know, I consider him a YouTube friend at this point, so I wouldn't charge him anything. But if he'd like, he can sit in and hear some pointers from me, and you know, maybe once the crowd hears his offering after some classes, you know, he might see that it was worth paying me, but I will not charge him.
You know what? I'm gonna take you up on that offer, Jason. See, people, see what YouTube do for me. I get learn how to be a DJ.
But
so me go class. But
I wanna share an observation. Gunner's boss earlier on made a comment, and Miguel followed up. Kranky?
Yes, I'm listening.
Gunner's boss made a comment, and Miguel followed up. And now Gunner's boss make another comment, and Jason started beat you about your song.
so the theme there, people, is Gunner's boss is the theme.
Yeah, Gunner's boss is the
theme. Gunner's boss is the instigator and I create mayhem for me. But no, Jason did give me feedback the last time. He said it was basically trash, and I agree with him. He said, and I told him I was going to come back better. So he said, I'm better, but I still need work. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, this is what he said. He said he likes your your enthusiasm of wanting to be better.
that means you're not good enough. When somebody says enthusiasm, that's the best thing you can say. That means you need work.
When you're a coach, the coach will always have more time for those that are willing to put in the extra work. You see, and I get that sense from Kranky.
Yeah.
That you can work with him, you know. So yeah, so you know, it's something that I noticed, and I appreciate that he's trying to, you know, he's not letting the masses affect his drive to be great. You know, that's something.
So
that's very
you're saying
important.
you have no shame. That's what you're saying. You're not no shame.
Well, you know, you can say it that way. I chose to say it the way I did, but you know, they do mean the same thing. But anyway, separate apart from that. I'm not seeing the chat. I'm sure everybody's laughing right now. All right, no, but listen, I had a question, right? And this kind of ties into the program. I want to hear from you guys on the panel. You know, there's some fans in the chats because you know I was streaming some of the the CONMEBOL Copa America games. I didn't have that much time to do the Euros because it's not a good time for me. But in the chats, you know, there was always the debate, you know, which tournament was better, more enjoyable or whatever. Do you guys have a definitive choice of which one you enjoyed more between the Euro and the Copa?
Yes. It wasn't close. It wasn't close for me. It wasn't close. It wasn't close for me.
Okay. Before you tell me which one, I just want to know, do you think that there's a difference between which one being more enjoyable and one being better? Or do you think those two things basically have to align?
They don't have to align. They don't have to align. But I thought there was one which was better and more enjoyable.
Yes, I agree.
But they don't have to align.
I thought
it's a good question. They don't have to align.
Okay, they don't have to. Okay, because normally when someone, so I prefer the Euro to the Copa personally, right?
Right.
And people that argue against what I think, they always brought up that they enjoyed it more. It was never about the actual football or the games or anything. It was just, I like the vibes, right? And I was just wondering, because they wouldn't admit that the Copa was better. They wouldn't say the Copa was better, you know. They just said they liked the vibes more, they enjoyed it more. So I was wondering if those two things had to align, because I would think.
So let me ask you a question. Do you believe that, is it possible that you could have enjoyed the Euros more because that's what you watch all year long? The environment is consistent to what you see on television every weekend. The players, you're familiar with them. You know, the way the game is played. Because Brazilian
I wouldn't say so. I mean, yes, I would say. Go
ahead. You go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, what I was saying is Brazilian football in CONMEBOL, it's played at a higher pace. It's more physical. It's different, and most people don't watch it throughout the year, right? It's very unpredictable, which is, in my opinion, is the natural state of the game, right? It's unpredictable, and they bring it really close to that. There were one or two good games in terms of how we envision the game in COPA, but there probably were more that we can stomach, or that we find more entertaining in the European tournament. So
I'll jump in and say this: I don't watch UFC. I don't watch UFC. I'm not into UFC, and I find COPA to be. There's so much thing bad about COPA. I was shocked, actually.
Are you talking about the football?
The football, the refereeing. I mean, people were tackling people as if like it's 1940s football. It's ridiculous. We have moved on as human beings. We're not inhumane anymore. We treat us other with, well, I shouldn't say that. In some cases we are, but at least the sports have progressed. When the NBA, you have touch foul nowadays, and we reminisce about the good old days when what's his name would get hit down by McHale, Rambus going to the basket and get clothesline. People reminisce about those days. No, the Detroit Pistons. No, it's inhumane. It makes no sense. It's horrible. And it's a CONMEBOL. That's what COPA America was. It wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't about the stadiums and the field and all that. And the refereeing was beyond poor. People are breaking away and people are tackling them. No yellow cards. People jumping in people's ankle. No yellow cards. The guy in the Olympia game, he elbowed somebody, supposed to get away with it because that's how they play in South America.
Yeah.
He elbowed the player and was protesting vehemently that he shouldn't have been sent off. Didn't you see how Weah just walked off when he got in the Panama game? Weah just walked off the field, didn't protest because he realized I did something wrong. It was a difference between him and the Colombian player who was there.
Yeah, I think what happens too, Kranky, is like referees have this heightened sense that the players are going to play act in the game. And so what happens is, I think defenders can get away with murder because most of the time the referee is thinking this guy is overreacting to this tackle. It wasn't that bad. Yeah. And we have the option of seeing it on replay. The refs don't, and all these things. So I kind of see some of those things, but I agree with you. I mean, there has to be a line somewhere because the game just ends up being a MMA brawl, bare knuckle fighting type of thing. So yeah, it got a little crazy to me, but I agree with Kranky in terms of I enjoyed it more and I thought it was better. But I thought it was very interesting to see the difference in all the people in the chats and what they thought. Yeah. And it just kind of aligned a little bit more, I think, with like what we consider the football we want to see. A little more flair, as Andre put it, a little more unpredictable, not so much a robotic. That's the word that I heard used. Too robotic for me to like, Yeah,
but the flair we alluding to, though, Jason.
It just made me wonder.
Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was just gonna say, it just made me wonder, like, is that a part of the issue that we have as a fan base? Because a lot of times, if you ask 100 fans from Jamaica what they want to see the Reggae Boyz do, it's like, I don't know, maybe about 20 of those people might have the same thing, but no more than 20 of that 100 would have the same idea what they want to see. And it kind of showed itself in the way people talk about these two tournaments. And, I think when speak for our coach,
I think your line
that we want to play.
Yeah, your line is breaking up, Jason, but go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, too much.
Yeah, it's for those criticisms you gave me earlier.
I was just saying, like,
it's those criticisms you gave me earlier. The phone guards are getting back at you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead.
Oh, you conveniently left out the constructive part, but that's okay.
But Jason, let me ask you this.
But I thought it told a wider story of, like, how far apart the hands are as far as what they deem to be the best or proper way to play football. And I just think it just shows the difficult task, really and truly, that Speed and the technical committee, or whoever his brain trust is going to be, who comes up with this coach, because I don't think that there's a right answer for the Jamaican fans. That's basically what I'm saying.
Right. No, look, I would agree with that. I do think, football has become so very technical and structure is important. That's why they play the way they do in Europe. I thought there was some dynamic play. You know, the Spain wingers were expressing themselves quite a bit, and some of the other players expressed themselves. You couldn't express yourself in COPA. You're on the ground. You're getting kicked down.
Yeah.
You can't express yourself when you're getting kicked all the time. It's hard to express yourself.
So to Gunner's boss question, I think that happens, right? In terms of
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The winner
Yeah.
of it's gonna happen.
I
There's
think-
what they call it. There's a
Yeah,
name for it.
la finalissima.
Yes.
Finalissima.
Yeah, they're gonna have it.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
and probably the European team is probably gonna win because that's what's happening in the club competition as well. The Champions League winner versus the Libertadores winner. The European team.
But in all honesty though, Andre, that match will be two European teams basically, you know.
Yes, and that's
Argentina have any players besides Messi play on this side.
so let me ask you this, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Most of the players that from outside of Europe that go and play in Europe and dominate comes from South America and Central America, right? So really, really top players. And the World Cup, as you know, only about 8 countries has ever won it. And in that 8 is Uruguay, is Brazil a few times, is Argentina a few times. What about, so they are able to take their talent and go to Europe and dominate and go into these major tournaments and dominate? Why do you think that the football would be more, you'd be able to stomach it more, so to speak, for lack of a better way of putting it at the moment, if you're watching Brazilian football, the league, on a weekly basis as well?
I think that would help because familiarity does help. At the end of the day, you know, when you know the players. But again, I think of like a team like Romania, for example, right?
Mhm.
I got immense joy watching that team play, and I didn't know none of those players.
Right.
So I just feel like, you know, I don't think football really necessarily matters who the characters are. It's what they do in the movie, right? So yes, it has a factor to play. You're right, because you're a little more in tune with the players. But you know, some of the most enjoyable games I saw in the Euro was teams that I didn't think I would enjoy the match so much.
Yeah, Turkey
And it wasn't because I knew the players.
Yeah, some of the smaller names like Slovenia and Slovakia. Turkey,
Yes, they had some of the better games
Yeah, they
in
were
terms
very
of just
good,
how the game went, you know. I remember
Yeah.
Austria versus Switzerland. Yes, I know some of those players too, but I wouldn't have looked at that and said, oh my gosh, I can't miss this game. But that was one of the best games in the tournament. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think to me, that was the main difference. Like in the Euro, I had way more surprises from teams. At the Copa America, it was like the cream kind of rose for the most part. I think people didn't know or realize Venezuela was as good as they were. I kind of knew going in that they were, so I wasn't as surprised as some as to how they looked. But for the most part, you know, I would say if red cards didn't happen, I think USA probably gets through. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was a lot more predictable, the Copa. Like you could look and say, okay, it's going to be Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia. Those are going to be the last couple, and they were. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in the Euro, you know, I don't think many had the Netherlands in the semi. You know, maybe a lot had the Spain, England, and France. I'm not sure, but it just seemed like there was a lot more parity in the Euro, so the games were a lot more enjoyable. It was not, you know, Colombia cakewalk everybody until they got to the semi-final, basically. So, you know, I don't think teams in the Euro had that type of run. Spain dominated, but they were tested.
England did.
They were tested.
England did.
England what? Cakewalk?
Had an easy pathway. Yeah, I mean, it couldn't get better than that.
Well, no, England had a very difficult pathway.
No, but I'm saying,
No.
yes,
England made it a difficult pathway, but they had an easier pathway. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yes, when you look at the two brackets, it was the easier route for sure. But even then, even still, when you look at the teams that they did beat and the form they were in when they beat them, you know, they were tough games. I mean, I thought Switzerland was going to beat them. I mean, I really did.
You know what? If I didn't have a channel, I probably wouldn't watch all of Copa. I think Copa was ridiculously poor. I would never get used to that type of football again. That was way back football. It should be outlawed. As Jason alluded to, the parity in England, in Europe, it become more and more evident. A lot of those players from the smaller countries are getting more exposure across the different leagues. They're coming back. There's less fear. and it's reflected in their football. Slovenia, Slovakia, all of those teams did themselves. Slovakia should have beaten England, frankly. England scored in the last minute of that game, right?
Yeah.
So it does show you that parity was there, and England, all these big name players, they didn't play well in the tournament. But most teams played very few games, apart from maybe the Scotland game and a few more games where teams just got run off the field. But most time, teams competed. So in South America, in this region, it wasn't the case. Panama didn't compete when they played some team. You know, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It needs to change, frankly. It shows the much more structured, organized way that where Europe is going versus other parts of the world.
You say Panama didn't compete?
When they played against was it Colombia they played and got 5? Who they played and got 5?
But they got beat.
They didn't compete in that game. They didn't compete in that game. They got a lucky game where the US got a red card. They didn't really compete to me.
Look, you keep saying that US get a red card and they were lucky. At the end of the day, part of the responsibility as a professional footballer is to control your emotions. Right?
Yeah, but no, we're talking about the field of play.
On the field of play.
And no, we're talking about your playing. Forget about the control emotions. The
Colombian
person. But I understand it. But it's not. That does not do with your playing. Your actual playing. Mm-hmm. Yes, the emotive part of it is important, and you should control it. But I'm talking about if you look at the team and how they played, and when they had 11 against 11, Panama didn't really turn up as they should have actually. Bless up, Vinci. Thanks. By the way, Anthony Roberts is Vinci. Vinci was on the podcast for the Euro yesterday with great insight. So Vinci, and by the way, people, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Vinci, it looks like you UK guys just stay up late because them telling me I come from Africa, you know. Me go Africa and on my way back. I don't know how to do it.
I was having a hard time figuring out who he was backing yesterday. Was he back in England?
Possibly. It may have been, but a lot of people in England don't back England or persuasion. I'm telling you that right now. People think people in England, like when the guys can play for Jamaica, people like, oh, they're rejects in England. They don't understand that people really don't have some people don't feel like they have a home in England.
Yeah. Right?
You're not accepted there. And then when you go to your where you came from, your people come from, they're talking about your rejects or XYZ. It's just not a good place to be. So yeah. And I understand that sentiment.
But yeah, I'm gonna Kranky, I'm gonna free up the line for someone else. But yeah, big up and respect and just let me know when you're ready for the consultation.
Yeah, no, I need to go to school, people. Jason's taking me to school. He's gonna take me to class because I need to be led to class. So I appreciate that, Jason. Thanks for the call.
All right, big up yourself. Respect, Andre.
Yeah, man.
All right, Jason. And Anthony Roberts in Lafayette, I'm finding a way to catch up on the food in the US right now for some poker.
They call it foolishness. Foolishness.
Somehow you're on Claudine Good's side tonight.
Yeah. I don't know what I did, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Whatever I did, I'm gonna keep doing
all positive again tonight.
She's not beating me tonight. She's not beating me tonight. I appreciate it. But people, we have come to it's 8 o'clock. I know we can't stay up too late. Coming all end of the program. I was gonna talk about the coaching situation. I did see a thing here talking about Steve McLaren. I will admit that was Ernest Murray. I did know about this actually. It's not only Steve, there are some other people on there. Some what we call a recycle coach. I was told I was gonna be excited. Me not excited, me I tell you now. Me like Spanish coach, it's hard to convince me otherwise. I've heard the names. You don't hear me mention them in my program, do you? But I've heard these names. I was gonna mention the other one, but I'm not gonna mention it. But yeah, his name has been very prominent actually. And he's somebody that's respected. I mean, he's part of the Man U situation now, but I'm not sure why people, here's the thing. This is not good. Here's why it's not good. So you hear when Ireland was talking about their process, they went to get a coach, and what's his name? I forgot his name. Said that they won't mention the people who didn't get the job. So they didn't mention the person only mention the person who got the job when they had the announcement, if the media didn't know, and they didn't mention who didn't get the job. Why are we hearing all these names? Why is any names being dropped? That's what we're talking about, professionalism and confidentiality. It's poor. This shouldn't occur. I am not excited about this. This shouldn't occur in a public domain where the names of the people who apply is being broadcast out when some of them have jobs right now. How the heck do we do this? That's why we get labeled of being unprofessional. That's why I just scratch my head saying, what environment you guys operating? Where have you guys learned to operate in a professional environment? You don't. People want to know each other. They want to make each other feel good. The Ireland FA said they gave the board. This is not like in Jamaica where, you know what? We know what the board means. They gave the board the information. The board had made a decision. They had the coach from March. They interviewed him in November. We heard nothing until what? Late June when they announced him. And we are leaked stuff like we don't have no sense. And then people think it's cool because I know I have this information. I know it's great. I know, and we're leaving it to YouTubers, the place where they have no way of keeping anything secret ever. People who are fence and people on the fence and people through fence. It's ridiculous. It's unprofessional.
There's too much. Everybody is loyal to somebody, but I think also, and I'm not speaking specifically to any organization here, but I think in the region, there seems to be a lot of effort being placed on appearing to be professional and actually being professional. So sometimes when we say we are professional, I think is an effort to appear to be professional, and it takes more resources to appear to be professional than to actually be professional. Because if you're being professional, that information does not get out.
When I have my channel, I'm talking about these things. I fired somebody when I in my previous life because of this. I won't go into the details, but it was just, you have confidential information, it should be maintained. And if you don't, then you're undermining your organization, you're undermining the process, you're putting people at risk in their job. Because if I have a job and I think, I'm going to consider alternatives, and I apply and you announce my name and I don't get the job, that can't be good. That cannot be good, people. We got. I know professionalism is hard because everybody want to be in the know and they want to tell people secrets and they all want to feel good, but it ain't a good thing. It's not a good thing. All these leaks occurring and the name is out in public domain and people will jump out and announce name because they feel good and they know. It ain't a good thing. I got that information a while ago and I didn't say anything because I don't think it was my right to say anything. I knew about him. I knew about a couple more people. I didn't say anything because it's not my right to say anything. But I shouldn't know either. Nobody should know except the people in the process, which is those who receiving the resume and the individuals who are part of the board. That's all. Good night. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes.
Man, no vaccine must speak to man. How disrespectful.
I don't know. There's a number on my screen. I know that there are 50-50s out there. I know there's 433. I know there's a lot of different people. How are you doing? Good night. What would you like to say?
Listen, man, I not do good because it's almost like I'm a child. Why me can't get a comment on the channel, but everybody else can get a comment?
That means you have not subscribed.
I am subscribed.
So what you need to do is unsubscribe and resubscribe again.
I forgot to share it.
Yeah.
But
no. I mean, you can comment.
And tell your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle to subscribe.
And Anthony says.
I got unsubscribe. But yeah, Kranky, in terms of the coaching search, right?
Right.
I know that Mr. Speed said the narrow down to 5, and a lot of the fans talking about style of play. Most fans want attacking football, right?
Right.
But I'm just at the point where I want the focus to be in terms of the appointment. Somebody can come in and hit the ground running, especially with these available players.
Before you go further, I have to say this. I won't say who. Somebody said there's an age threshold in the comment section. That's why you couldn't comment. But keep going.
An age threshold. But yes, so you see, it's a very short window, Kranky, in terms of the window for the 2026 World Cup, right?
Right.
Because qualifiers start back in 2025, and we as a team we're on the back foot in terms of not sacked our manager or whatever. He just left the position. You have the United States who I think they'll bring in somebody who can hit the ground running with these like talented group of players that they have. Canada is already ahead of the pack, especially in the recent COPA America, you have Panama, etc. So it's like, we have a lot of uncertainty surrounding our team. So I just want us to get somebody who can come in, get the results, get the team to play better as well, better than what, Hallgrimson had them playing. Because I believe there's more in this team than what was shown by the previous coach and how he deployed the team. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
not saying it's like exponentially better than how some people put it. You know, I'm not saying it's better than the USA or Canada or whatever the case is, but we definitely have more potential in this, you know. But we definitely have to really not shift the focus too far away from what we say, the World Cup qualifiers. And I think the Nations League could be a good building block for those qualifiers as well, leading into the World Cup of 2026. You know, so we also need this coach to be comfortable enough in these in the upcoming games in the Nations League to hit the ground running as well.
Right. No, I don't disagree with anything that you say. I think for a coach coming in, it's going to be important for them to get a series of games to really assess the players they have on board, the new players supposed to be joining, and people we have been given perspective and ideas that new players may be joining, and I'll be happy about those players. It's supposedly more than two. I've been told this for over a year now. I ain't yet, so I'll just wait and see.
So,
What were
so
you told?
is it I want to reframe what's he call her name? Who's he call her?
50-50.
50-50. I'm gonna reframe
Yeah.
what he just said and say that
Yeah.
I think it's the important thing is to get a coach that could get the best out of the players that Jamaica currently have available to it. I think the emphasis on finding new players could be too much, because if the coach can't get the best out of the players, it doesn't matter who you bring, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's already a very good squad. It's already a very good squad. That has underperformed basically.
Mhm.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree, especially with underperform. I know that we get the results, you know, but in the manner that we got the results, it's underperforming. So right in using that word, you know.
Right. So I think a manager that would get the best out of the team, I think, should be the number one criteria, and I think everything else will fall into place. The focus on who else that could, you know, that you can get. I don't know how important that is at the moment, because you just be filling the roster. You probably would end up in the same situation as England, where they're picking players that's performing and not really players who can do what the manager wants, or implement the style of play he wants to implement. And that in a big part is what a lot of people feel is the problem with the English team. That whoever is performing at the club gets selected, but there may be players who can produce more in some positions that is not in the squad.
Yeah, and to even add to that as well, you know, I know that a lot of us talk about like the potential of some of these like other players that's like linked with the team coming in. I think we also have to shift the focus from them. I see it as, you know, whenever they join, and wherever they fit in, wherever the coach wants them to play, or however the coach wants to deploy them in the system, then, you know, when you reach that bridge, you cross it. You know what I'm saying? But you're definitely right in terms of the coach needs to come in and really get the best out of these players, you know, the respective players across each position. And I think Coach Haldimson, or previous coach, I think he got the best out of some players defensively rather than on the attacking forefront. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at Lucky Body, etc., these players used to be chastised by many fans, you know. And in the Nations League, we saw where Lucky Body and some of these guys that used to come under heavy scrutiny, they started to perform, you know. But I was, you know, Mr. Speedo was on the program yesterday, and he said that it comes a point in time where you have to score goals, you know. So you have to eventually get something out of these players to be scoring goals and winning games. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the task at hand for the coach, right? To come and get the best out of them, set them up in a way that they can produce and get results in a way that, you know, people look at Spain, and I hear a lot of people talk about Spain not doing this anymore. Spain football has always been effective. It looks a little bit different now because they have a different crop of players based on the way the coach want to play. I think I hear Kranky mentioned it earlier as well. You know, 5 of the players before, in the way they were playing, most of the players were coming from Real Madrid and Barcelona. Now that's not the case, right? They have players. There are 5 players came from a team that's 7th in the league, right? Because those are the players that could give the manager what he wants. So he picked those players. And by the way, the Spain's manager coach under 18, coach under 20, coach under 23, right? And had success at those ages, and now coming and had success with the under 23 team. So this is when you talk about national team football, that choice, choosing that coach is a very tricky one, and how you integrate him into what you're trying to do, because if the coach is not involved, if the coach is not involved in the youth setup in any way at all, then it makes it difficult for there to be continuity. He doesn't have to be in control of it, but be involved in it so that he can see the young players and know who they are. And because a big part of being a coach is not seeing where the players are. You take Dixon, for example. A lot of people could look at him and see he has talent. Majority of the people could. Very few could look at him and say, you know what? He could become this. That's the difficult part.
So I'll say this. Anthony Roberts is saying, Vince is saying, what style of football is he going to implement? I am lost for words. So Vinci is saying, I'm in England. I know this person. I'm going to put words in with Vinci. Wanado. I'm going to say that in Jamaica. Me don't know Wanado. I don't look like I'm confused. Vinci made up on the same page. Not in a lie. That's why I have nothing to say about it. I tell people what I want, what I'm looking for in a coach, type of coach I want, where the coach will come from, what the requirements are that I see. And I know people are getting excited about these names. Me telling people right now, me not excited.
You want a Spanish coach, right?
Yes.
I can call somebody else if we get somebody that working in a bodega in Spain.
I said a coach, not a bodega worker. I said a coach.
Somebody working in a bodega that is coach.
I don't care if they coach a women's team or the Spanish and the men's team. I want that coach in Jamaica. And because not only do I want to coach there, I want to build affiliation with Spain so we can learn their style of play, their strategy, because I think it's very effective. You can tap what Spain you want, but in this century, Spain has done really well. Look for them in this century. Since the 2000s started, they've done really well. And that football is sustainable. It ain't a fly in the night football where I play it and I go change and move on to something else. It's sustainable football.
No, I think what they're doing very well is that they, from very young players, are learning to understand the complexity of the game.
Yeah, they're learning football. They're learning and they're teaching them football. They're learning how to make decisions. They're learning to understand all the aspects of the game. Look at how Yamal plays football. Look at how Nico plays football. They're learning the football.
The thing that you saw in the game against England and all of the games, these are things that are learned in isolation in small-sided games. You watch them draw the English team to the middle of the pitch. Because the center backs, when they have space, they will dribble the ball to the middle. They'll play those little short passes in there, which makes England collapse into the middle, right? And then they go out wide to Yamal or the ball on the other side. And what's his name? Nico. And that's where they are dangerous, right? And those are things that those guys start learning that from very young.
Right. So Jason has a question here. Is it a possibility that there's no validity to the claims of McLaren being in the running, or is the info indefinitely accurate? I just put up what someone mentioned, and I've said before that.
You need to leave that alone. Don't add to the same problem.
No, I'm not adding to it. I'm just saying that someone mentioned it. Is it mentioned on other channels? It's not been mentioned on my channel. If I don't have evidence, Jason, even though I've been told something, I don't know if it's accurate or not. But what I would say is that I want a Spanish coach. That's all I'll say.
You will promise that you will be excited when the next coach is selected.
It's hard, people. I must be easy to excite because I'm excited about my music, and Jason Guna told me I need to go back to the drawing board. So maybe I'm easy to be excited, but I thought it was hard for me to get excited. So I don't know. So Ernie says, JSG, ask the breaking news boss. I got it from his video this afternoon. Yeah. It's more than, no, it's not him alone. More than one person dropped the video that he's one of the people. So I've heard this, but I'm not, I that's why I didn't talk about it, because I heard, but honestly, I have the evidence in front of me and I don't talk about it much. All right, people, we've come to the end of the program. I really appreciate you being here. I most appreciate Claudine treating me well and not beating me up. That's appreciative. Anthony, Mr. Roberts, appreciate you coming here so early in the morning or late night and being here. Yeah, I mean, Anthony saying, people experience with futsal, where you learn tiki-taka type concept. But yeah, it's possession football, and people are saying, well, it's not tiki-taka in Spain nowadays. It's a bit different. Conceptually, it's all very, very similar, people. Close control, all the things that goes along with this. But anyway, so people, I'm back here tomorrow. I don't know what the topic's going to be. I have to ponder it overnight. I will talk about the coaching situation in Jamaica, not who is going to be there. The two things, the coaching situation, and also talk about the fans, actually. Jamaica fans or lack thereof. Fans of Jamaica football team or the peripheral people who talk about Jamaica football. That's two of the items I'll talk about tomorrow. And whatever topics that may come up overnight or may consider, we'll have dialogue about it. But before the game, Andre, thanks for being here. Appreciate you coming on.
No problem, my friend.
And everyone in the chat, A.M. Henry, Claudine, Ernest, Anthony, Nitro, Gunners Bust, everyone who have been here, Jason Gooner, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. If you haven't done so, hit the like button when you're leaving, hit the share and the like. And should I take you out? I'm going to take you out my old song because someone don't like my new song.
No, you got to play the new song. Play the new song.
No, we can't play the new song. The new song, people.
New song.
You know what? I'm going to take you out my new song. Take it my new song. If you don't like it, too bad. Take it my new song. Should I play the old one? Play the new version. Good night, people. Thank you.
All right, Kranky.
But people still online, people, because the new song, I have no video. The difference between the new song and the old one now, it's only a song. Reggae boys, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponents yield. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need out what you plays possession, cause possession is our obsession. We built that team from far and wide, but them playing like a pickup side. Need to change that style of play. Next coach, do you hear what I say? I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession, cause possession is our obsession. The team's defense is very strong and really puts a foot wrong. But the offense is very meek. In fact, some days it's just plain weak. We need the team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Have to have ball possession, cause possession is our obsession. Our team needs to keep the ball, otherwise we are set for a fall. 2026 is almost here, don't want it to be a nightmare. I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Most teams play possession cause possession is their obsession. If you haven't got your passport yet, has the quota been met? We need you on board in real time, so get your papers and join the line. We need you to play possession to ensure good ball progression. We want players who play possession cause possession is our obsession. You keep referring to 98 as if achieved just by fate. Need a real strategy on the ground, don't have time to mess around. Need that team to have possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. Work on the team style of play, do so now without delay. Fans don't want a long ball game cause that style of play is very lame. We want the team to have possession to ensure good ball progression. We need a team to have possession cause possession is our obsession. All right, people. I send you home with I think probably send Jason to sleep.
Big tune.
Jason is gonna teach me to, and Gunner's boss talked about this, so I could be on rhythm. I thought I was on rhythm actually, but If it need work by the experts, then we keep working on it. We not give up people. Shushan, Anthony, Jason, the whole crew. Thanks a lot and have a good night. Peace out.